Savings now through October 15th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping one day of insane Milwaukee deals on Saturday, October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits at insanely low prices. All Milwaukee hand tools, tool accessories, and Milwaukee pack-out boxes will be 20% off. Spend $100 and you'll get a lotto ticket for up to $1,000 off your next order. Again, that's one day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Need cash fast? Tap into the value of your home with a home equity line of credit from Valley Strong Credit Union. Whether it's for home improvements, debt consolidation, or that dream vacation, you can get your cash offer in minutes. That's right, just minutes to unlock the power of your home's equity with no hard credit pull to see how much cash you can get. No stress, no waiting. Just smart, local banking that puts you first. Grow your possibilities with Valley Strong Credit Union. Visit valleystrong.com to get started today.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
It's amazing how quickly things change around here. 1 week ago, Kyle Draper was here, and the Philadelphia Eagles were undefeated. And then here we are a week later. We got Henry Turner here. Thanks for coming back and helping us out, Henry.
No problem,
and
man.
The Eagles are 4-2.
Oh, my gosh.
They've lost 2 games.
Hey, first the Fat Boys, now this.
Yeah. Wow. And the Giants lowering the scataboom on Philly last night. That was, I guess I shouldn't be surprised this year in the NFL. Whatever you don't think can happen is probably going to happen. I still was a little surprised last night.
I like it. You know, I hate that one team will always just walk to a championship, man. You know what? Give me some diversity. Give me some surprise in the game.
Yeah, I'm with you 95% of the way, but this year's almost getting, for me, like, too weird. Like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Leave the door open.
Uh-huh.
Leave the door open and may the best team win.
The Giants now have won a couple, and everyone in New York's actually excited about the Giants. Jackson Dart and Cam Skattebo. I don't know which is a bigger story. Which to you is a bigger story? The Giants and the way all of a sudden they're energized by their 2 rookies, or the Eagles again falling into this funk?
Well, I say for New York, it's the Giants. You know, and their football team is playing well. Their basketball team is back in action. You know, New York should throw a parade.
Yeah, that's about the only way they'll have one is if they throw one now. They've had terrible football teams. I mean, the Giants and the Jets are awful, so the Giants show a little bit of life, and they're going nuts. But, you know, the NFL and the Players Association are looking into the concussion situation with Jackson Dart, the medical tent situation. I don't know if you saw any of that, Henry, but you had Jackson Dart going into the tent, and then they bring in Russell Wilson, and he runs 2 plays, the second of which was an incompletion on a terrible pass. And then the coach, Ryan Dabble's going nuts, and he's yelling at the doctor, like, when is Jackson coming back in? He goes and sticks his head in the tent, which you're not supposed to do. Like, hey, when's he coming back out here? And the fans, boo, for Russell Wilson.
You know what? I feel for Russ. I really do. But, you know, when you look at the tent situation, it's one of these like put your helmet on and get out here now.
Right. But, yeah, that's old school. But, now in the NFL, no one's supposed to go in there. The doctors and the player are the only ones supposed to be in there. So,
I mean, that just goes to show, though, when the tension is high and you're trying to win a game, anything goes.
Especially if you're a coach.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I don't care.
I don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
None of that. Bring me my guy.
Mm-hmm.
We're going down right now. That's like you bringing me a water hose, but it's not hooked up to the fire hydrant.
Right.
I need water.
So the league may fine him, and I don't think it made any difference. I don't think the doctors went ahead and said, all right, get back out there because your coach wants you. But still, they may have to do something about that just for appearances. The whole thing is so silly. Not that we want to spend a lot of time on this, but, if someone gets a concussion, the symptoms don't always show up right away.
Right.
Sometimes it's later in the day.
Yes.
But the NFL's like, oh, let's see, shine a flashlight or with light in somebody's eyes. Yeah, you're good. Go get him. It's like, you really don't know.
You don't.
If the guy's okay or
you,
not.
you don't know till later on when they go to sleep or they lay down and, all of a sudden the head start hurting and different things happen. Yeah, so like I said, right off the bat, you don't know.
Yeah, so they're just, covering their behinds, and in case there's lawsuits, there's so many pending lawsuits about concussions and things, they're just trying to legally just cover themselves. And Jay, speaking of the Phillies and Philadelphia, what happened to the Phillies last night? That was ghastly.
Yeah, it was a tough way to go down, but they struggled too, though.
Oh, I know.
They struggled.
They couldn't hit it all.
No, they definitely struggled. But it's a beautiful day when two Philadelphia teams lose.
Wow.
I'll tell you that much.
You know what? I think Drapes is very glad his phone is not working.
Oh, yeah. You better be.
He glad his phone's not working.
Let me tell you, if Drapes was sitting right there, he'd hate me today.
He'd be hanging down.
Oh, come on, man.
This would be
guys,
I'm not sure I can make it through the whole show.
Hey,
you know what?
Go. Hey, he would be in concussion protocol right now.
Yes. I don't know, Jay. You've played a lot more baseball than any of us around here, but just watching it unfold and seeing that Orion Kirkering clearly just panicked.
Yeah, he
He
did.
just went into a panic because all I had to do was, it would have taken a strong, accurate throw to first, but he sees a runner and like, it was hard to watch.
Well, unfortunately, it is parts of sports, right, fellas?
Oh, it is.
The yips and, I always say that Finkster starts to get tight, and we've seen it plenty of times, and you saw it yesterday.
Mm-hmm. You know what, Jay?
Part of the game plan, man.
Let me ask you this, though, Jay, and this is on the baseball side.
Sure.
Because I didn't play baseball to that level, but in hoop you can see it. In baseball, can you feel when the momentum is shifting, when everything is starting to go your way? Because I know baseball is a start and stop a sport, but I know in football and in hoop, you can feel when that momentum is shifting and you're like, oh, here it comes, fellas. We either going to tighten up or it's going to go downhill quick.
Yes, definitely. I'll give you two examples on when you feel it. When someone is pitching a hell of a game, and more times than not, this is just in my experiences, fellas, HT, when you are the hitting ball club that is getting a no-hitter pitched on you or a perfect game, about that fourth, fifth inning, coach lets you know. Or scout, somebody, a pitcher, somebody's making that phone call. Hey, fellas, we ain't got no damn hits up on the board.
Right.
Somebody got to put something on the grass. And then more times than not, the person, the team that is the pitcher is throwing the no-hitter or a perfect game, you start to kind of get a little anxious in the 6th, 7th. The hitting ball club in the 4th or 5th, and that's part of it, HT, where it's stop the momentum now. Mm-hmm. Because right now, we have none. And everybody looks bad. Even if you went up there and hit a seed to the wall,
right,
you forget about it because you look at the numbers. So that's the first one. And the second one for me is two ways. And, as baseball people say, a walk, a bloop, and a home run, or a error, walk, and a hit, right? 7th, 8th, 9th, and you're up 1, maybe 2, even in the pros within 4, because 4 can save you on a grand slam. You give up that first hitter walk, or you give up an error, you like, oh, here we go.
You can feel it starting to tilt against you.
Yeah, here we go. Especially if it's a ground ball or like Aaron Judge dropped a fly ball. It's like, damn, he ain't done that in 9 years. Why all of a sudden now?
And it's so crazy because like in football and in hoop, it's immediate. In basketball, you come down, you turn the basketball over, they go down and hit a three. You come down and get a bad shot, they go down and hit a three.
Yep.
You come down and kick the ball out of bounds, they come down and hit a three. In your mind, you're like, boy, here it go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Same thing in football. You let them go yard, and they get a touchdown, and they hyped up. And then on the kickoff, your punt returner comes and fumbles. They kick the ball and get a picks it and take it into the end zone. You're like, momentum shifted.
Big Mo, right?
Yeah.
But it happens. I think you're correct in the form of it. Happens slower because it is a start and stop type sport. But all it takes is one ball to be hitting somebody to kick it, boot it, drop it, and you're like, oh, come on.
Because it's stop and start, it's not, you're flowing, you're not thinking. You're stopping and you can't help but think sometimes because it stops. I'll never forget this. I may have told this story before on the air. I apologize if I'm being redundant. It was the next to last day of the 1987 baseball season, and I was in the Giants clubhouse. The Giants had already clinched a playoff spot. They were getting ready to play the Cardinals, and so it was a very loose locker room. But they had the TV on because Roger Craig, the manager of the Giants, he used to be a coach with the Tigers, and the Tigers were playing a crucial game that day. So I'm sitting there in the Giants clubhouse watching it on TV. There's some reporters, and there's players standing around watching. And it was the 10th inning of a tie game. And Alan Trammell hits a ground ball with the bases loaded to the shortstop, Manny Lee, and it goes right through his legs. And the guy standing next to me was a pitcher named Mike Lacoste. And this is a professional major league player, and he goes, well, somebody didn't have his enema today. He just turns around, walks away. And that's the way the players look at it.
Yep.
And I thought of that last night. That's one of the things I thought of.
You know what? Yep. And it is such a thing called time management. And, Popovich is one of the best at it. I always say when the San Antonio Spurs get up by 12, it's over because they're not going to let you come back. If you score, they score. They score, you score. At the end of the game, they're going to be up by 12. That's how they used to do it, especially when they had Tim Duncan, Ginobili, and the rest of the guys, right? But Popovich is so good. If you go back and watch his teams, if they turn the ball over and the team go down to score, they come down and take a bad shot, and the opposing team come down to score again, immediately, I don't care if they have 10-20, he's calling timeout. Mm-hmm. And people are like, why is he calling timeout? It was just the mental aspect. Exactly, Jay. Just freeze the momentum because you can bring your boys in and have a conversation and reel them back in, but you freeze the other team's momentum and then you can get back to your game.
Mentality, right?
Man,
mindset.
Time, pace, score. You got to know it.
Am I the only one that feels this way? Speaking of, emotion, I watch the Eagles, and I don't root for the Eagles. I have nothing against Drapes or the Eagles, really. I don't root for them. But if I were an Eagles fan, there were times, and last night would have been one of them, where I would have felt like Jalen Hurts needs to show a little more something when they're losing. He's almost too cool. He threw that interception. It's like, I know he cares. I'm not saying he doesn't care, but he just doesn't show any emotion. And when the team is flat.
You know what? That's almost like a catch-22 because we talked about that a little bit yesterday. It's like, would you rather have a guy that you have to calm down or rather have a guy that you got to rev up?
Mm-hmm. Well, I just think I understand that. I'd rather have the guy that I got to calm down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would too because I think it's much easier to say, hey, calm down a little bit instead of having to walk into the locker room and say, man, come on. Yeah. Come on now. Come on, man. Hey, I need a little bit more from you.
Yeah. And he's the leader, and he's won a Super Bowl, and he's an outstanding player. I get that. But I just feel like sometimes when things aren't going well, it just leads to the narrative that something's wrong here. They're having these team meetings, and they lose this game that they had no business losing, and the quarterback almost seems like he's in a funk or something. I don't know. If I were an Eagle fan, it would bug me.
If you're a fan, you want to see that. But, if you're on the team, you know your guy. Let's say right now, our main guy on the Sacramento Kings that really you can't tell what's going on with him is Keegan Murray. Whether he has a great game or he dunks on somebody or something tragically happens out there on the floor, he's the same guy.
Yeah, that's true. But you said it yesterday. Tim Duncan was like that.
I mean, the dude was a silent assassin. Yeah. He's not going to say anything. He's not going to get rah-rah. But he got that eye of a killer. But that's within the team. If you are a fan, you want to see Draymond Green out there on the floor, kicking and screaming and crying because he's losing the basketball game.
Yeah. What do you think, Jay? What's the bigger story? The Giants winning with Cam Scatterboo, Jackson Dart, or the Eagles losing their second game in 5 days or whatever?
Eagles. It's Eagles.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Eagles situation.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I can't do the fly eagle fly no more. I mean, is the wing broke?
Oh yeah, that thing is injured.
Is the wing broke?
That thing is well, the Eagles go through lows though, fellas. Do they not?
Most teams do.
Yeah, and I was just getting ready to say most teams do.
But this is a Super Bowl hangover year.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could put attach the name to it. Drew, did you guys see Drew Brees a couple of days ago where he was talking about the Eagles are not a Super Bowl contending team, and
I
people
heard him
crucified.
I know a few weeks ago he said their offense is just boring.
Yeah, he crucified.
Really?
Yeah, they crucified him. I think it was Tuesday. People were just all on top of him.
I mean, how can you say that about the champs? For me, I always have to give the champs the edge.
It's a new year.
But still, it's a new year, but I still give, because you know what? They haven't been knocked off yet. Until they get knocked off, like you said, most teams go through things.
Yes,
they go through lows. And then some teams have to go through a low before they hit their stride. Say, okay, fellas, we got to get this together.
Yeah. Now, I hate to bring it up because we've been over it and over it and over it and over it. But last night they ran the tush push 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
They scored a touchdown. Today on Get Up, I read about this. I wasn't watching. Mike Greenberg said, I apologize to fans who had to see that because it's terrible. Now, he was upset because there was another false start, Jay, which is something the league should keep an eye on. But otherwise, it's here to stay, and it works, and they scored a touchdown. Just they're struggling so much offensively. Maybe they should just run the tush push every play. Right? You
All
get
the way
3
down.
yards.
Just
You
get 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards.
Yes.
You know what? That sounds like a guy that does a bunch of analytics.
Yes.
It works.
Uh-huh.
It's effective, and that's how we're going to play.
Right. And then the one time you don't do it, Jalen just pulls it back and goes around the end for 70 yards, whatever. Better than throwing a near pick six and having the receivers unhappy. And what's wrong with Saquon Barkley? 19
I have
yard
no
run
clue.
early and
That's crazy right there. I don't understand that either. And, hey, you know what? Maybe he's going through some things. We're all, professional athletes are human. You never know what's going on in their lives, their daily, practice. Understandable that you don't supposed to bring that to work, but some things happen into your life to where it does affect you when you're out there on the field.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on with him.
By the way, TR here is asking in the chateau, what is High Flyer's name? And it's Henry Turner. Yeah, I should mention that more often. So often we call you High Flyer. Some people who aren't as familiar with the Kings history. Who's a High Flyer? Henry Turner. Yeah. HT.
Well, his mama named him Henry, so I'm going to call him Henry.
It's funny, too, because
Hank.
There it is. A lot of my teammates call me Hank.
Mm-hmm. Which do you prefer?
It makes no difference to me. It was funny because the guy that gave me the name, it was one of my teammates when I first walked through the door for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah?
Yeah. I walked in, and I met Danny Ainge for the very first time. And I said, hey, Danny, of course, I know who he is. He just came from Boston and everything. I'm hyped because I'm playing with him. I'm like, hey, Danny, how you doing? My name is Henry Turner. He said, Henry? He said, you don't like a Henry. He said, from now on, your name is Hank. Mm-hmm. And it's everybody in the locker room laughed or whatever, but it stuck.
We'll have to try to get him on the show, Jay. Get Danny
Ainge?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you were just hanging out with your former teammate Spud Webb, right?
Yeah. Spud was just here doing an autograph signing.
That's right. I saw him out there. Yeah.
And matter of fact, we're going to get him to come back. He's going to do an event for us in November.
Oh, boy.
Who's us? I'm sorry.
The Kings.
Oh, okay.
Kings. Mm-hmm. So he'll be back in November. I think it's November 19th. We got a season ticket holder event, but Spud will be back in the house.
Okay. Yeah, we can have him post up Alan Styles. That'll be terrific.
Go right at him. Spud will go right at Alan.
Can you tell the story, please? Would you mind telling the story, speaking of Danny Ainge, of how he talked you up to MJ?
Oh,
wasn't Danny the one that did that?
Yes. That was Danny. I had no idea that Danny and MJ, were friends. They go golfing together. So the day before, him and Michael go golf. And Danny's like, yeah, we got somebody for you. Mm-hmm. All that high jumping, all that high flying, we got somebody for you. And Michael like, yeah, whatever. So game goes on. I'm not doing nothing. I'm a rook. I ain't doing nothing. So the game goes on. We're in Chicago, and him and Danny, they jaw jacking or whatever. And all of a sudden, coach said, Hank, go get Danny. So I go in for Danny, and Mike is looking at me. And I mean, he's looking at me like I took the last piece of chicken, bro. I am for real. I'm like, what the hell? But it's Michael. All right. So I'm knowing the mentality is Michael. So.
And you could probably feel him looking at you.
The heat and the steam is coming off this brother. And man, we go in there and Michael is coming at me like no other. It was a personal vendetta. And I'm like, man, I didn't do nothing to this brother. Man, what's going on? Do I have to go over here and apologize? What's happening? So, yeah, he come down and he goes off, and it's crazy. I just stepped into the game. That's why I said when you come off the bench, you always got to be ready.
Yeah.
Right? So I come off the bench.
Because you don't have time to work your way into it, right?
You don't exactly. We come off the bench, and it's the free throw. Vinny Del Negro is shooting the free throw. So he shoots the free throw, they score. And we coming back down. Then all of a sudden, they go to the free throw line. And I'm standing next to Mike at the hash line. Mike ain't said a word. Just look at me like I said, like I took the last piece of chicken. And all of a sudden, we take the ball out. Vinny gets the ball, starts coming up. And I'm watching Vinny go up, so I'm coming up behind him. And Michael rips it. Boop. Cookies. Mm-hmm. Take it. Mm-hmm. So now, I'm in backpedal mode.
One back?
No, me and Rodney McCray.
Oh, okay.
I'm in backpedal mode, and I'm pedaling. I'm like, okay, here he comes. And I'm going over so many scenarios in my mind. I'm like, okay, this is Mike. He's going to come to the rack. I know I got to step up. And I'm saying this to myself, Whitey, but I'm still backpedaling. And the last time I said I got to step up, I looked down and the free throw line is right there. And he's coming full head of steam, and he tongue out, takes off. Poof! So arm stretched out, tongue, full Air Jordan mode, and I get out the way.
What else you gonna do?
He dunked on Rodney McCray so hard, Rodney gets up off the ground. Hank, what you doing? I turned around and was like, I couldn't do nothing, bro. I couldn't do nothing.
We have this discussion. Michael, later in his career, as great as he was, later in the year in his career, he wasn't as good a defender as he was earlier. But the Michael you're talking about, he's a great defender, right? He's a great shot blocker for a guard.
Here's the problem. Michael's hands were so big, and he was quick. So if you're dribbling the basketball, Michael's hand was like suction cups. Mm-hmm. He could just grab the ball and take it. So, if you come up and you try to cross over, if he gets his hands on the ball, he's got it, and he's going the other way. So, he was very good at stealing the ball. Mm-hmm. And, once he comes down with a head of steam and Michael jumps, I jump too, right? But when I jump.
You're the high flyer.
Right. When I jump, I go up, and I get there. When Mike jumps, it's like, boom, he's at his peak right then and there.
Oh, okay.
He'll catch you quick. You can jump just as high as him, but he's there like right now. Had nothing for him, Whitey. Nothing for him.
Rodney McCray's got to make that play at this level.
Hey, I moved out the way. He dunked on Rodney. Rodney was like, hey, what you doing? And Rodney was my vet. Rodney is my vet. Man, he didn't let me eat for 2 days after that.
Yeah. What do you want to see from the Kings tonight? That's just the second preseason game. Not to make too much of it.
I want to see more energy, more effort, more concern on offensive side. I want to see it fluent. I don't want to see the offense stagnant to where guys are looking like, where do we go? Where do we cut?
Yeah. I want to see the offense getting pushed out.
Right.
Like a football team that's losing yards.
They definitely got pushed out. Like once again, shouts out to Toronto. Toronto played a big-time defense the other night on the Sacramento Kings as far as just pressuring the basketball. I was really impressed by that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see some of the defensive presence that we've been told is going to be part of this team. And as you said when we were doing the crossover with Allen, it takes time. It's not something you can just, boom, start right away. Teams like the Raptors, they were not a great team last year. Portland's not a great team last year. Both those teams are working on improving, but they've been working on that defensive presence last year and in the draft and before. Not to make excuses, it's difficult for the Kings, but at some point, you got to start seeing that defensive traction.
They got to have the buy-in.
Yeah.
The buy-in is number one. If you have four guys that has bought into the mindset of pressuring the basketball, and you got one guy that's just like, oh, I'm gonna stay over here and stay in no man's land. That's the guy that kills you. Mm-hmm. The guy that kills you.
The one real bright spot to me from the first game, I know that the youngsters came in, played really well, and that's cool. That's great. But Dylan Cardwell was kind of like, woo, right? And I think you talked about it yesterday.
I had talked to Doug about him in Vegas, and Doug was like, hey, Hank, you got to see this dude, man. He said he's going to probably play a lot of like the Scott Pollard role. He said, but the guy got talent. He said if we can get him to be able to hold down that center position, he's going to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. He told me that in Vegas.
Yeah. Really good defender, right?
Really good defender, really good rebounder. Has some weight on him, can throw a little weight around to where, you're just not getting pushed around up under the basket.
Doesn't have much offensively, and I know we saw, I think he missed a couple free throws, and he was able to capitalize on some lobs from Neek.
But that's what he needs to do. Uh-huh. DeAndre Jordan never could score either, but he lived with Chris Paul, so just stay around the rim. You 6'10", 7 foot, you should be able to score.
Mm-hmm. Boy, the Kings have a knack for, over the years we talk all the time about how they miss on some draft picks. But then in recent history, they're finding these guys like undrafted guys. It's like, that guy's a player.
They've been doing better. Definitely been doing better. A lot of people say, the Kings they draft horribly. No, we've drafted pretty good lately. I mean, okay, let's go back to the DeMarcus Cousins. Besides the attitude, DC was a hell of a player. All right? Then you get De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox was a hell of a player. You get Tyrese Halliburton. Mm-hmm. All right? Nick Clifford's a good player. Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we've had some good players come through here that's been draft picks.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just also saying to get guys like, Keon Clark. Keon Clark, pardon me.
How about to say not Keon Clark. But though, to your defense, Keon Clark was a hell of a player.
He was.
They wouldn't. I think they wouldn't found him off a garbage truck somewhere.
Yeah. but Keon Ellis
played well. Yeah. Keon Ellis, homegrown guy that was in your G League and really worked hard, and you was able to cultivate his talent. I'm with you on that. Finding diamond in the roughs, they're going to have to be able to do that.
Up next, is Dennis Schroeder a Hall of Famer? Tell you about the one Hall of Famer who thinks he is, next on Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings are geared up for the new season. Training camp competition is fierce.
He's got the two-pointer. Download the Sactown Sports app to keep you informed everywhere you go.
One place, all your Sacramento Kings news. Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It is Friday. We're looking at mostly sunny skies. Overall, really nice day to be outdoors. You'll feel that southwest breeze about 5 to 15 miles per hour, and daytime highs will peak in the lower to mid-70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
The Sactown Sports 49ers report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. The 49ers win an absolute thriller in overtime over LA, 26-23, to improve the 4-1. San Francisco getting a critical stop on 4th and 1 at the end of the game with LA driving inside the red zone. Mac Jones is now 3-0 as the 49ers starting quarterback. The Niners are back in action in Tampa Bay. Catch the game Sunday, beginning at 9 o'clock right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 18th. It's championship night. Late models, modified, sprint cars, and the insane trailer racing. Plus a huge fireworks show to light up the sky. Tickets start at just $20. Don't miss the season finale. Stockton99.com.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. The statewide special election is November 4th. All registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Shop top brand tires at Big O with the lowest tire price guarantee. Now through October 19th, get up to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nitto, Nexen, or Toyo brand tires. Installation required, disposal fees extra, not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping one day of insane DeWalt deals on October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits will be at insanely low prices. Spend $1,000 on DeWalt products and get $75 off your order instantly. Spend $100 and get a lotto scratcher with prizes up to $1,000 off your next order. That's one day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they are upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. And you've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Hey, man. Gaining weight? Low energy? Lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Sacramento helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000 or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, it's Friday with Whitey, Jay, Henry Turner, getting ready for the Kings and Blazers tonight. Before we get to the Hall of Famer who thinks Dennis Schroeder's a Hall of Famer right now, somebody's coming after me a little bit, Henry, in the chat.
Hey, they made a watch they sell.
That's all right. They're just, we're just talking basketball.
Okay, all right.
Ryan Smith heard me say, look, it's going to take time for the Kings to get this defensive identity in order. And Ryan says, Whitey, time? Come on, Brown preached defense. How many voices have to preach defense before the team buys in? That's a fair point. But I'm just saying, and Henry, you could speak to this if you agree with me. It's one thing to say we're doing this, but sometimes when the personnel is not a great fit for what you want to do, it's going to take time before you get results. I understand Kings fans are the most patient fans in sports because they've had to be. And so they don't like to hear, wait, I got to wait some more. But realistically, I don't think we're going to see this team be that, man, they're picking up people from 94 feet all over the place. I don't think it's going to happen right away.
Well, I will say this. There are defensive-minded players, all right? And there are guys who are offensive-minded players. I always felt like if you played basketball, you should be able to play defense. Defense to me isn't a physical thing. It isn't something that's technological, or for me, it's more of a mindset. It comes from your heart. It comes strictly from your heart. If you want to play defense, you go out there and you can play defense any NBA athlete is able to do that. Now, it goes back to the buy-in. The buy-in. You have to have everybody to say, I am going to stop my guy. You know, back when I used to play basketball overseas in Europe, I hated playing the zone. Hated it. Because I felt like the zone hid your deficiencies.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of the idea, right?
Yeah, but it hides your deficiencies. I was more so the mindset of, let's play man-to-man, because I'm going to stop my man. You stop your man, and the other three, if you can stop your man, we got a good defensive team. Now, I don't want to have to be in a zone to help you, help him, because a good basketball team, after that third pass, is going to pick that apart.
Well, like you say, everybody on a string.
Everybody on a string.
But I think the reason defense comes from, as you say, from the heart, I think defense is the most selfless thing a basketball player can do on the floor, because there's no other than, steals, whatever. But I can play really hard defense and help my team win. It's not necessarily going to show up in the box score other than the final score.
It's not pretty.
Right. So that's when a whole team commits to that. It's a great example of everybody committing to the same thing. We're going to win, and we're all going to give up. We're going to make sacrifices to do that, because it's very difficult, and there's not necessarily any real obvious rewards for you when you do it well.
Right, because if you have two lines you can be in as a basketball player, let's say it's a line for stealing the ball, taking off from the free throw line, and dunking on your opponent, or stepping up, taking that charge by Zion Williamson that's coming down at 280 pounds, which line are you going to be in?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to be in that long line, that dunk line.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be on the other side. That's why, players that can do it and do it efficiently, they really stand out. Alex Caruso was one.
Right.
That dude will always be on somebody's roster until he gets tired of playing basketball. Dennis Rodman was another one. You had Tony Allen was another one. Guys who just really made their name and made their way because they played defense. They did things that other players didn't want to do on the defensive side.
So to Ryan Smith's point, and thank you, Ryan. Yeah, we're just talking basketball here. How soon can we reasonably expect to see that as fans? To see the Kings, oh yeah, there it is. There's Doug's defense.
Well, it's probably going to have to be a lot of evaluation done because, like I said, some guys, they're just not good on defense. And then that's when you have to go to that zone because you got to hide somebody. And, and good basketball teams do it. Golden State Warriors do it. They go to a zone quick. Whenever somebody is on Steph that Steph can't stop, they go to that zone because they have to hide Steph.
Right.
He's a liability on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Love him on offense, but he's definitely a liability on D. So now you have to go to these gimmick-type defenses, and you really have to
it up.
Right. You really have to understand, okay, do I have guys who can slide with their men, stride for stride and be able to cut them off, or do I got a guy out there that's a little slight of foot and he's not going to be able to stay with the dude that he's got, so we might as well go into this zone, or we might as well go into a boxing one or triangle and two, whatever type of gimmicky defense that you have to do to be able to help your guy out.
Hank, when I was coaching 8th grade girls basketball, we had a 1-3-1-3 quarter court trap that I called claw. No, we
would love to call claw.
We wouldn't start the game with it. Like, let them get a little comfortable, and then
bring the claw.
What's the score? Claw. Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
It was a very aggressive defense.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is the craziest thing that I've seen in NBA basketball in my life. It was either last year or year before when we were playing and all of a sudden the opposition went into this matchup zone and our offense was stagnant for about 5 minutes.
That happens a lot in the NBA.
I'm like, you guys don't know how to break a zone defense? A matchup zone? Throw the ball in the middle.
I know.
I mean, that's the most elementary thing you learn in basketball, how to break a zone.
You see
Put
that?
the ball in the middle.
Like Miami will throw that zone on people, and you'll see it'll take the other team like 3 minutes, and they're
to
like,
get it right.
What are they doing?
Right.
Are they allowed to do that?
To get it right. Like, How long have you guys been playing basketball?
I know.
But an NBA team will struggle between 3 to 5 minutes to really get themselves going against this zone.
Yeah.
And it's like, at that time, your zone did exactly what it needed to do.
Yep.
They didn't threw up some type of crazy shot. They didn't turn it over once or twice. Now you done got, you done dug into that 10-point deficit. Now it's only 2 points.
Yeah. And you just need somebody from the baseline weak side to come to the middle. You make that pass, and the zone is broken.
The zone is broken, Whitey. As soon as you make that pass to the middle, the two defensive guys have to collapse.
Yeah.
Now, guess what? Both of those shooters in the corner are wide open.
Yeah. But it just takes I see that all the time.
Blows my mind.
Yeah. I'm sure part of it is, and I agree with you, there's really no understanding it, but teams don't practice against zones a lot, right?
No,
I mean,
you don't.
You hardly practice at all.
But I'll tell you what, though. I'm starting to see it more and more in the NBA. Now that they changed that rule that they can play zone, it's like, wait a minute. They're in the box of one. Wait a minute. They're in the matchup. And the one that really gets me is the matchup zone, because it's really hard to read from the beginning because
it's a combo, right?
Because the guard makes the pass and the guard runs and cuts through. His man follows him to the free throw line, but he stops.
Yeah.
So when the guard swings through, he still think he's man-to-man. No, he's just been bumped off to the guy at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they don't see the matchups like, he's still at the top. The guard's over there, bro. The guard's over there.
Yeah.
So they're in a zone.
When I went to college, I was doing stuff on the college radio station. I wasn't playing on the team. San Francisco State, they had a really good, I think it was Division II at the time, but they ran a matchup zone. And, Henry, they would just shut teams down.
We used to run it at Cal State Fullerton, too.
Yeah.
That's why I know so much about the zone, because we used to run it all. Come on, man. We couldn't guard UNLV man-to-man. We couldn't guard the Rebels man-to-man. No way, no how.
Yeah.
So we would go to a matchup zone. And
which, for those who don't know, matchups like a little combo. It's a little man-to-man with some zone principles, right?
It's a fake man-to-man.
Yeah, yeah.
You're in zone, but it looks like you're guarding a man, but you are. You're guarding a man in that
zone.
area.
Yeah.
So it really throws teams off. But we understood, too, that we had a lot of teams that would run against us, but we had a big man that could shoot very well from the top of the key and the free throw line area. So we would love to throw the ball to him, and I was the dunk guy on the baseline.
Oh, yeah. Dunker spot.
It's going to work out.
Yeah. All right, we'll get to the Hall of Famer who thinks one of the Kings is a Hall of Famer. We'll get to that, but when we come back, we got to talk about Keegan. When will Keegan sign, and how much will he sign for? We have some interesting numbers on other players in similar situations to look at when we come back with a high flyer next.
Keegan!
Next, Murray, Sactown Sports.
Visit SactownSports.com and join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best Honda dealer in Northern California. Score big with low payments, more for your trade, and a huge selection. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
It's championship night at Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 11th. Pro League models, mini stocks, legends, pure stocks, and mini modifieds in an all-out war for the crown. Kids 10 and under are always free. Grab your crew and hit Stockton99.com for tickets and info. Then be there when the dust settles and legends are made.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Henry Turner with us. And Henry, as you may know, that's one of the best things about a Flashback Friday on this show, because you never know what Jay's going to spin in there.
I was about to say, we don't have no theme song for the day. Yesterday it was Kansas City.
Might hear one version of that in two.
I just said, we ain't got no theme song for the day.
What would the theme of today be? I don't know. If you got any ideas, there are no songs about defense, are there?
So keep your hands where your eyes can see.
Pink Floyd, The Wall? I don't know. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Soccer Dad Bod in the chat says, we need John Wisnett and the white line defense he won the title with the Monarchs with. Ha ha. He was a good coach.
Wiz was good.
Yeah.
I mean, Wiz really knew what he was doing. Good guy.
Yes.
You know, every time I hear something about the Monarchs, it just really, 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 really hurts that they're not here. You know, they were the only team that brought Sacramento a championship.
I know. I was there.
And that trophy with those young ladies' picture needs to be up somewhere in the G1, hanging high, so when you walk in, you see what those young ladies did for this city.
I think in a way they were ahead of their time. You know, Tisha.
Oh, yeah.
And Yolanda Griffith. If they played now, they'd be really popular. Not
Be
just
ballin'.
here.
Be
Not
ballin'.
just here.
Yes. Because Tisha Campbell was like Magic Johnson. She could find you on the fast break, almost like a female white chocolate. She could just handle it, dude, and find
fun
you.
to watch.
I mean, Yolanda was Chris Webber.
Yep.
You know, Annette Powell was Paige. You know, they team really mimicked the men's team quite well.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite memories of those teams talking with Jerry. We had Jerry, and he said this on the show, so I could say it. You know, he was the GM there when JaVale McGee's mom, Pam, was on the team. And Jerry said, yeah, and JaVale would be hanging around sometimes. And we asked, what was he like? He said, I was kind of a pain in the ass.
Wow.
But, he's probably just a little kid at the time.
He was. And I went to school with their sister.
Oh, okay.
Elena. And Pam and her sister was down at USC, and I would always, see them all the time. And then when she came to Sacramento, just to watch her and how she played, I mean, they were monsters when they played at SC with Cheryl Miller. I mean, they couldn't get no bigger. You talk about a female basketball team that was balling back then. They were getting it in.
I don't know how many of those combinations there are. There's probably a few, but I can't think there are many where the mom and the son were pro basketball players.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, quite unique.
Yeah. What's the deal with Keegan Murray? Well, we know that the deadline to sign rookie extensions for the guys drafted in that draft class, 2022, it's October 20th. Not that many guys have signed their extensions yet. We don't know where it is with Keegan. Christian Brown, according to Jake Fisher, he's expected to command $25 to $30 million per year on his next contract. And he says rookie scale extension discussions around the league continue to feature various players pursuing deals with an annual average value of $30 million in advance of the October 20th deadline. Woo! We're not sure who those guys are, other than he says among them is Christian Brown, with the low end of Brown's range on a new deal believed to be in the $25 million ballpark. So you got Paolo, he already signed his extension, 5 years, $239 million. He was the first pick. Chet Holmgren, $250 million. Then Jabari Smith, 5 years, $122 million. So
it dropped.
Then Keegan was the fourth pick, and he hasn't signed that extension yet. So you can see how if you're Keegan's people, you're looking at, well, what about the first two guys, right? And if you're the Kings, you're going, Jabari Smith, you're Jabari Smith, and that's what he signed for. Jaden Ivey has not signed, and some are not sure he's even going to land an extension because of his injury history. Then Benedict Mathurin was the next pick.
Okay.
He hasn't signed. Shaden Sharp, the initial offer for him, according to reports from Portland, is $90 million for 4.
Okay.
Dyson Daniels was the next pick, and there are reports that he wants $30 million per year, and the Hawks are like, nope, ain't doing that.
Somewhere at some particular time, a lot of this is going to cap off. I mean, we're paying players $200 billion nowadays, and believe me, and I'm pro player. Get all you can get, bro. Get every nickel you can get, because I'm like this. If a team can afford to pay one player $200 million, can you imagine how much that team is making?
Right.
And nobody's coming to see, the brass.
Right.
The guys are the ones that got their names on the back of the jersey. So get all you can. I understand that, no doubt.
So Keegan hasn't signed yet. The deadline, as you know, is October 20th. And I remember last year, I think it was Jalen Green and I think Şengün were both from the same draft class. And they didn't sign till right at the deadline. So it's not necessarily a bad sign that nothing's happened yet. And as I said, there are a lot of guys who haven't signed yet. But we're really not sure where it is with Keegan. We can only guess that they're kind of haggling over the dollar amount.
Now, this is a question that I have for you. Maybe you can help me out with this. Okay, when you're on your rookie deal, it's a set scale. Number 1, get paid the most. Number 2, number 3, number 4, it goes down that way. Now, when you re-up, like they have to, is the scale still the same, or is your performance measured into how much money you're going to get paid?
It's not automatic. There's a rookie max extension they can offer. So there's an amount they can offer Keegan, but they're not obligated to offer that much.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I think that's where I assume that's what they're trying to figure out right now.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Because, you're looking at some of those numbers, and I'm like, some of those players and some of those numbers are guys that were on teams that did very well.
Yeah. And Jalen Williams was, I think, the 12th pick. He also got a huge deal.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A guy like him, he's the 12th pick, but the dude won a championship and was this close to being MVP. So he's going to get, a little something extra.
I know that as fans, we talk about it every day, and we talk about it on the show about Keegan, is he this good? Is he that good? There was just a podcast that was talking about him. We'll probably get to that, where they said, he's not going to be a superstar. I don't know, but I think he's so vitally important to the Kings that I think you sign him if you can, and then you sort out how good he's going to be later. I just think they need him. And I think he fits their timeline as far as when they want to be really good again, I think he's an important part of that. We could disagree on that, but to me, and I'm sure, they're working on it. They got time here, but to me, it's really important to keep him around.
Keegan Murray is definitely sought after, no doubt.
Coveted.
Yes, coveted, no doubt. Good young player, great attitude, a guy that you would love to have on your roster. But I will say this, and this is almost any fan base, because, the Jonathan Kuminga thing just went through the roof. And, the Warrior fans were all up in awe, and a lot of people were like, well, how come he didn't move? Well, the Golden State Warrior fans holding Jonathan to this high level, a lot of teams in the league was like, he's good, but he's not all that.
He just hasn't done anything yet.
Right. Yeah. And we're looking at Keegan like, okay, he's going to be the next Some other teammates, organizations like, he's good, but is he 150 million good? Because, we always value our guys, I think, a little higher than what the other other entities in the NBA value them. But for Keegan Murray, rightfully so, he's in that realm to where they're going to have to pay the man.
Well, there's a couple people here in the chateau saying, I'd give him 20. He ain't going to sign anything for 20, Henry.
That's not going to get it done.
No. Yeah. We can't keep waiting for that jump. I don't think he has that dog in him, that soccer dad bod. And again, we're just talking basketball here. Campy says, unless Murray ups his game, I would trade him. That's the exact kind of narrative that I'm talking about. I understand it, but I disagree with it, and I don't think the Kings can afford to look at him that way. Like, he hasn't done everything we thought he would do. He's expendable. I don't think he is.
No. Hold on. Let's get this out the way first. He's done everything that they've asked him to do.
And maybe they've asked him to do things they shouldn't have asked him to do.
Right. When Keegan came here, his rookie year, we saw Keegan fresh out of college. He did what he did in college, and he played very, very well. The next year, we asked Keegan, okay, you shot the ball well, but we're going to need you to play defense. Keegan done that the second year very, very well. He guarded the number one scorer on every team that we played. I watched it. I seen it on the scout report. The third year, we asked Keegan, oh, you know what, Keegan? You played defense very well, but now we need you to rebound. So Keegan turned into a rebounder. Mm-hmm. The young man never said nothing, never complained, never once said, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. They moved him down to the 4 position. Keegan Murray's a 3. Keegan Murray is a legitimate wing player. The Kings asked him to go down to the 4 because they needed to help with Sabonis on the rebounding, and the young man did it. So don't crucify the young man for doing exactly what the team wanted him to do. Now, is Keegan Murray a better 3-point shooter than he is a rebounder? Probably so. But the thing about it is that the dude has done everything that the Kings have asked him, and without mumbling a word.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't made that jump, although he has shown improvement. He has made that jump like Christian Brown did last year, but the team hasn't put him in the best position to make that jump.
But Whitey, here's the deal. And this gets me too, because I'm definitely on a Keegan Murray rant right now.
Let's come back to it, can't we?
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we'll come right back.
Got it.
Henry Turner he wants to get something off his chest about Keegan Murray. We'll do that when we come back to Sactown Sports.
For the latest from Kings training camp,
tune in to Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
you're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
The NBA season is officially here, and we're going hard from start to finish. Every player is showing out. All 30 teams are locking in. To win it all in this league, fans and players need to give everything. All season long. The American Express NBA Tip-Off begins October 21st on ESPN, NBC, Peacock, and Prime.
Your night out deserves more than the ordinary. At Revival at the Sawyer, downtown Sacramento's rooftop oasis, you'll find signature beverages, chef-crafted bites, and a view that makes every moment shine. Kick off your evening in style or wrap it up with energy, because Revival isn't just a stop, it's the heartbeat of the night. Revival, the place to see and be seen. Settle into lush indoor-outdoor seating, take in the sounds of live DJs, and let the city energy carry you into the night. Book your reservation at revivalsacramento.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We got Kings basketball tonight, taking you up to game night. Got Henry Turner.
In the building.
Yeah. Jay Johnson, Whitey Gleason. I know we talked about this, Henry, when we were on with Alan. You're going to be here a little bit today, huh?
Yeah. I got my pillow and my blanket over there, so I'm going to be here for a minute.
It's like a two-a-day for you.
I'm going to eat a little dinner here and, stretch it out.
Because you're doing the show, which we appreciate. Thanks again for helping us out. And then you got game night and then post-game, I assume, right?
Pre and post.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Me and Jay Ross.
Nothing like doing pre and post for a preseason basketball. I've done that, and I know what it's like.
On the road. On the road.
Well, we were just talking about Keegan, and the reason we're talking about Keegan is because the deadline for the Kings to sign him to his rookie scale extension, October 20th. There's a lot of guys from his draft class that have not signed yet, which is interesting. But you had a point you wanted to make when I mentioned that Christian Brown, he's looking for 30 per year. Denver likes him a lot. They may move in that direction. He had a big jump last year, Christian Brown did. He went up to from 7 to 15 points a game. And, that's the type of jump that some of the fans we're hearing from say, why can't Keegan do that?
Here's the deal with Brown. He's on a team to where he has a 3-time MVP, all right? It's going to always be 2 guys guarding Jokic. You got 1.5 on Murray. You have the other guy guarding Michael Porter Jr. on the outside. I call this the Sabalas Cedric Sabalas syndrome.
Oh, okay.
When he was with Phoenix.
Try saying that just one time fast, yeah.
You had Charles Barkley, Dan Marley, and Kevin Johnson. All you got to do is stand in the corner and wait. You're going to get every offensive rebound. You're going to get every loose ball. If you can score and you are the fourth option, why do you think Aaron Gordon played so well? You're the fourth option on the basketball team to where they have to be able to help on the inside or they get killed. So, yeah, the dude's numbers are going to go through the roof. Keegan Murray don't have that luxury. It's a lot different scenario.
How much would you offer him if you're the GM? Would it be something along the lines of Jabari Smith, 122 over 5? Again, it went Paolo. He was the first pick. He signed for 5 years, $239 million. Then Chet, the second pick, got 5 and $250. OKC, they're trying to keep that roster together. Then the drop-off to Jabari Smith, the third pick, 5 years, $122 million with Houston. Then you got Keegan, hasn't signed yet. Ivy hasn't signed yet. Mathurin hasn't signed yet. Sharp hasn't signed. Dyson Daniels hasn't signed yet. So there's a lot of guys there that haven't signed yet.
You know, if I look at it and just through that evaluation, I would say 90 on the low. The low.
90.
90 on the low.
5? Or would you go 4?
4. 90 on the low. And then maybe 110, 115 at the high. That's what I'm guessing.
Okay.
That's where I'm guessing.
You don't even want to go anywhere near 120, huh?
For our squad and looking at what we need to do.
I'm just asking. You're the GM, man.
I don't know.
I just get you your coffee.
You know what I'm saying? That would be what I would throw out there. I don't know what type of numbers he's going to get.
Right.
But I'm looking at, compared to what that is on that paper, I'm going with 90 at the low, 110, 115 at the high.
Sharp was the 7th pick. The Kings see him tonight, right? Shaden Sharp. According to reports, the initial offer for him was $90 million for 4. And I think that's where they start negotiating.
That's where you start. That's what I said.
Yeah.
90 is on the low for Keegan.
The 6th pick, Mathurin, he's projected, I don't know how reliable this projection is, but he is projected to end up with something around 95 for 4. So, yeah, that's the, like I said, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th and 7th picks. Keegan, the 4th pick. So you can see how some of these, with that drop-off from Chet down to Jabari, you can see how some of these agents are going, hey, no, my guy wants 25 to 30, and that's going to be tough for a guy like Dyson Daniels with the Hawks.
But here's the deal. Okay, Banchero, pretty much the man since he stepped on the floor.
Right. They're happy with him. He loves it there.
He's the franchise.
Yeah.
You got to give him that type of numbers. Chet, freak of nature, just won a championship. So he's going to get right up under that. I understand why Jabari dropped a little bit. Yeah, good player, but you're one of those guys to where you can't say you command something right up under Chet when Chet just won the championship.
Right.
It falls off. That's just the way it works.
I was just checking Jalen Williams, what his rookie level extension was. We'll find that.
Jalen Williams got paid.
Yeah. 5 year, he got the rookie max also.
Yeah, he got paid.
Yeah. 287?
Yeah. He got paid. But this kid here was one step from being finals MVP.
287? Wow.
He was one step from being a finals MVP.
Oh, he's tremendous. Yeah.
Right. So he's going to get that money over Ben Carroll because he's done more.
Yeah.
For his team.
I hope they can keep Keegan. I know there's a lot of
we
fans
better
that
keep Keegan.
Yeah. I think so, too.
We better keep Keegan. We need him.
You have a lot of equity in him, and he's been a good player. I don't need to tell you. For all of the things that people look at and say, well, he's not this, he's not that, he's not a superstar, he helps you win games.
He does.
He's an asset on this roster now.
And, almost every last one of those guys that's in front of Keegan, their organizations have put them in situations to where they were the alpha.
Yeah.
They were the alpha. Ben Carroll was the alpha as soon as he stepped down in Orlando.
Jabari was not, interestingly. Yeah, right?
Jabari was not an alpha.
Right.
But Chet was an alpha as soon as he stepped on the floor. Well, we haven't even given Keegan the keys. We gave De'Aaron the keys. De'Aaron was the alpha. Gave him the keys. This kid hasn't really been given the keys to be that alpha.
Do you think in some ways he might have been better served career-wise if he'd been on a worse team to start his career? Because he was on a team that won 48 games, as a rookie, and he played really well, and he set the rookie record for threes, but he didn't have that chance to go to a bad team where, to your point, like, here you go, it's your team.
It's tough when you come out, you're a rookie, and you come to a team to where you have an all-star in De'Aaron Fox and you have an all-star in Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to come to a team and be the end-all, be-all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to find your way and understand that you have to be a piece of the puzzle. When Paolo went to Orlando, it was like, here, Paolo, you the man. Go out there and win it for us. Okay, Chet came into the league. Oh, Chet, you're the best thing since sliced bread. Going out there and changing the direction of this franchise. Some players don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
So you will, if you don't get the chance to show that you can be an alpha, how are you going to really, look down on this dude when you say he's not the alpha?
Well, I was going to ask you. I won't ask this. I'll tell you what I was going to ask, but I'm not going to ask it because I'm getting ahead of things here. I was going to ask if he doesn't sign this extension, is that a bad sign? But we'll see. We'll see. Because if he doesn't sign, then he'd be restricted. And
I don't even want to think of that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the worst.
I'm not going to ask you.
That's the worst case scenario for me. I don't even want to think about that.
Okay.
Keegan's got to be here.
Yes, I'm with you. Had a thought here about Doug Christie and the system that he's installing at both ends of the floor, but especially defensively. And this is just me. It's not Henry. I'm not speaking for Jay, and I haven't been told anything. It's just an observation. Because one of the things I've been trying to figure out, Henry, we've talked about this. It's, okay, how can Doug do the things that he clearly wants to do with a roster that in some ways doesn't really fit that? And obviously in some ways it does, but you got a couple guys that are your veteran guys, some of your core guys who really have never played that way, picking up 94 feet and all that. So how can that mesh? On the surface, you'd say, well, hold on, you got to pick a system that fits your personnel. That's basic coaching. Well, Doug's no dummy, so I've been thinking about that. Like, why are they doing this? I think, in my opinion, the organization is more committed to Doug and the system that he wants to install than they necessarily are to some of the veterans on the team. I think it speaks to the notion that this year is a developmental year that's kind of disguised as a win-now year. It's just my opinion. No one said anything. I don't know. I think if they get off to a great start, that's great. And then, all right, we're going to make a run at, maybe one of the top 6 spots. But if they don't, I think come trade deadline, they're going to have to decide whether,
which direction they want to go in.
Is it maybe time to move off of some of those?
You know what? I will say this. Doug's going to have to be creative. Because, like you said, his way of playing defense might not be conducive to a couple of guys that's on that roster.
They've never done it, and they're probably not going to do it.
And when you're veterans, you're instilled in your ways, and this is how you play.
Yes.
Understandably so.
You would know that better than any of us.
Right, understandably so. But when you come to a place to where this is the system and you're a player, it's either you're going to try to convert over to this system, or the coach is going to have to be very creative. Once again, because we talked about it with Steph Curry, be very creative and almost have to learn how to run gimmicky schemes to hide some of the deficiencies that he has out there on the basketball floor.
And to make that fit work,
at
least in the short term.
To make it work. I've always said this. On the defensive side, if you have a Mutombo in the center, at the center position, all your guards and all your forwards can press their guys out to the moon. Because if they get backdoored, so what? You got an equalizer down there.
Did you ever get a shot blocked by him?
Oh, of course. You have an eraser at the rim. So you can afford to pressure. But if you don't have a legitimate shot blocker down in that center that's going to be able to just get everything when your guys come by, you can't have your guys pressuring out, all the way to the three-point line and above.
Because if they get beat, which is going to happen, then good night.
If they going to get beat, it's a bucket. You might as well just turn around and run back on offense. So, that's why I say you have to be creative. of how you want to do that. I'm like, when you have Eubanks in the game, right? Seems like this dude can protect the rim a little bit. All right? So when you have a guy that can block some shots, that can really hold down the middle, well, you can tell your guards, press up, press up, press up, and really get that defense to really go on and try to get steals and deflections. But if you don't have that safety blanket, when you get back door, this barbecue chicken is over with.
Yeah.
So you really got to figure out what you have out there on the floor before you start saying, okay, this is how we want to do it. Okay, you might want to do it that way, but you can't do it that way because you don't have no protection at the end.
Henry, do you think it's feasible for the Kings to play either, say, Maxime Reynaud, and I know we don't know what he is yet, but play him at center, or Eubanks, or even Dylan Cardwell, and move Domas to the 4? I'm not suggesting it. I'm just asking. Do you think if any one of those three becomes a guy who's like, yeah, he's an above-average defender in the middle, do you think that becomes an option with this roster?
I tell you what, I wouldn't discount it. At this particular point, we tried everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's no stone unturned. We're going to try everything and see what it looks like.
Isn't the big problem with that Domas guarding other 4s? In the era of the stretch 4s, that might be a tough cover for him.
It might, but then again, you might be able to hold down everything in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's where, let's say, someone like Domas, if you put him at the 4, right? I would say he would have to be guarding a 4 that's not a legitimate stretch 4. It would have to be a 4 that kind of hangs around the free throw line area, maybe 12 feet out. Because you don't want Sabonis at the three-point line guarding somebody. That's not a good look for him.
Right, and then he's not going to lead the league in rebounding, and you want him to rebound.
So it's kind of one of those situations to where when you're playing Golden State and you got Draymond Green at the 4, that's Sabonis guarding. It's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Draymond will step out and shoot some threes, but I think that helps you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if he's guarding somebody that like sits out there and just knocks him down big time like a guard, well, you can't put him at the 4.
How do you answer that question? We don't hear as much of it anymore, but we still hear it time to time. Domas, he's really a 4. He's not a center. Is there truth to that?
As far as?
I mean, a lot of people say, even around the league, he's not really a center, and that's why he's not a rim protector, and he's really a power forward, but he's not mobile enough to play 4.
You can always pick somebody's game apart, right? And I always say right now, in today's game, it's positionless basketball.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 guys out there on the floor. We saw the Raptors the other day, and did you see at one point on the defensive side, they were running the bump and run.
Really?
They were running the bump and run.
Mm-hmm.
Push him to the side, you go run, and the other guy makes the bump.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, these dudes is playing college basketball, at least on the defensive end.
Spending a lot of energy.
And it was working.
Yeah.
And it was working. So, it's really positionless basketball. But if you look at it and say, okay, yeah, is Sabonis a 4? Is he a legitimate stretch 4? No, he's not. Is he a 4 that's going to be able to stretch out to the three-point line and maybe pump fake and beat somebody off the dribble? Not at his best. But is he a 5 that can knock down a three-point shot? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Is he a 5 that I wish he would do this more often, catch that ball at the high post and turn around and shoot the jump shot?
That's just what I was going to ask you. You see that as an area of growth for him?
That's an area of growth for him.
Yeah. He's just not comfortable doing it, but he does a decent job.
He does a decent
but
job.
He misses a couple, and you can see he's like,
he's not comfortable with it.
Yeah, right.
Right? And, and then you look at him and say, okay, is he a guy that you could just throw the ball to him and he can get it done down on the low post? Sometimes, depending upon who he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
But do he get overpowered sometimes when you play really big centers? Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's an undersized center. We know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you about something that I've been wondering about, because we know that you run the offense through him a lot at the high post. We've seen that, and he's an excellent passer.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard him early in camp say, I'm not going to be down at the dunker spot as much. And I thought, well, he already was playing the high post. I don't understand. So I went back and looked at some of Rick Adelman's old offense. I'm assuming Doug is running some of that.
Right.
Some of that. And I saw some video of when Rick Adelman was coaching Houston. It was Scola was playing the high post. And so he would get the ball and swing it or throw it, but he would stay out there.
Mm-hmm.
Domas last year, he would do the DHO or he'd throw it to the wing, and then he would dive.
Right.
And I guess now maybe he's not going to do that as much. I don't know. When he says, I'm not going to be in the dunker spot as much, don't you want him down there? I mean, I guess he's going to stay at the high post more and create more space for penetration.
It's funny you bring up the Alleman offense. And let's say when it was at its best.
So we're talking Vlade and Webb and Peja and Bibby and Doug.
And then with a little bit of Brad too.
Yes.
Okay. Vlade and Brad really did their work around the high post.
Mm-hmm.
Vlade was the passer. Webb was the one down in the dunker spot.
Mm-hmm.
And you throw it down to Webb, and Webb go one-on-one. Nobody couldn't do nothing else with him. So when you look at what we have right now, who is suited the best for that dunker spot? Because
I'm not sure.
Because Sabonis is suited for the Vlade spot at the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
That's where, passing the ball and facilitating, he's really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have that guy down at that dunker spot. Because, you can put Keegan down there, but is Keegan that guy that's going to catch the ball and just explode over guys like that? I don't think Keegan got Chris Webber's game.
No, he can do that, but that's not what he does best.
Right, that's not what he does best.
Yeah.
Keegan is the guy in the corner. We don't have...
So all the Kings need is Chris Webber. That's the
or a guy that's down in that dunker spot to where when he catches it, he goes up and dunk it.
Yeah. Oh, Kuminga would look good in that slot, wouldn't he?
Waiter, check please. Check please.
Okay. It resumes tonight. Thank you, because I've just been wondering about that. But it sounds to me like, they would like to have Domas up high and staying out there a little bit more. Yeah.
And let's flip the script. Let's say you want to use Domas in the dunker's position. Not a bad call. He can score around the rim.
Right.
But who's going to be that number 4 at that free throw line running the offense through them?
Don't have it. Unless
that's the thing.
Unless you're somehow going to squint and say Neek is playing 4, but you can't really do
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because, once again, Keegan is in that corner.
Yeah.
Keegan's the corner guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to put in the Vlade position?
Mm-hmm.
That we're missing that key element.
If you're going to run that offense,
yes.
yeah.
But that's what we've been running a little bit.
Yes.
We're missing that key element. That guy that can either be a legitimate in the dunker spot, or you put Sabonis down there and let somebody else be able to facilitate.
See, I could see them running some of the corner stuff with, this is a rough comparison, but you got Domas as Vlade, you got Zach as Peja, and maybe DeMar doing some of the Bibby stuff. You could run some of that.
Yeah. But you know what, though? We're going to go back about a year or two ago. That's why Trey Lyles had some good games. Trey Lyles played that Vlade spot.
Mm-hmm.
And he was able to stay around that free throw line and even step out to 3.
Yeah.
To where when him and Monk ran the high pick and roll, the pick and pop was there. And it was effective because he could knock that shot down.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was able to swing the ball. We're missing that element. Now, let's say, for example, can McBuckets be that guy? Is Dario Saric going to help be that guy? Because those are the type of guys who have the shooting potential to be a pick and pop guy.
Mm-hmm. What about, I know we don't know what he is yet, but Rayno, based on what he did in college, he showed some range. As far as
I will say
stretch,
this.
Yeah.
If you're going to use Rayno, Sabonis, you're the guy at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Right now, you're the rim runner.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You're the rim runner. When Sabonis gets this ball, you step on the inside, we're going to lob it up. You're 7'2", go get it. You're the rim runner.
Mm-hmm. Dylan Cardwell looked pretty good as a rim runner, didn't he, in the last game?
Another rim runner, right.
Yeah.
Right. So they got pieces. And you see that, okay, well, some of these guys can fit, but they got to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to be on the same accord. They got to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fascinating year because I think there's a possibility, and I think it's set up for them if they have to pivot midseason. They haven't said that. No one's told me anything, just my opinion. But, the way you have it's almost like the Warriors used to say, 2 timeline thing. You got your young players and you got your veterans.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You have to have a yin to your yang.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You know, and Scott Perry, very intelligent very, very intelligent guy. You know, he understands that you got to have a plan B. If you got an A, you have to have a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something for backup. So, you know, they're trying to get things done.
Yeah. If you go 14-6 in your first 20 or something, then you're like, all right, we're sticking with this.
We stay with this.
Yeah. So you're set up. That's kind of what Billy Beane used to do when he ran the A's. He'd put a team together, then he'd see, are we any good? Well, we'll decide at the deadline. Are we going to go for it or are we going to tear it down?
And you know what? And it's funny you say 14-6 because I have been on record to always say that I give them 20 games. Before I even evaluate anything, give them 20 games. Let's see where we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good chunk, good sample size.
You know, somewhere, in December is around 20 games. It's like, give me the first 20 games. Let me see where we are. And then you make a decision on, like you said, do you go right or do you go left?
Yeah. You know, Henry, that's what was most disappointing to me about the first game. And it's only one game, and hopefully it'll be forgotten. But looking forward to a lot of aspects of this year. It could be so fascinating in so many different ways. And then the first game, was just kind of like, hello, wake up. Yeah. So hopefully that won't be the case tonight. In fact, that's our guarantee, right? It won't be the case tonight.
Whitey has guaranteed it's going to be a different night tonight.
It is going to be a different night. We'll come back with a look at the 49ers and think they might play a tight game Sunday. We'll look at some incredible numbers on that front when we come back. Sactown Sports, it's Friday, yeah.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hello, I'm Frank Cock with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. When Washington shutters its doors, do markets tumble? History says not necessarily. Since 1976, the U.S. has endured over 20 government shutdowns, and during those periods, the S&P 500 averaged a modest gain of 0.3%. In the 35-day 2018-2019 shutdown, for example, the S&P 500 returned 10.3%. What about afterward? In the 12 months following the December 2018 shutdown, the S&P 500 gained 26.2%. Across multiple shutdowns, the average 12-month gain has been about 16.95%. That's not to say that shutdowns are benign. They tend to increase volatility, especially in sectors tied to federal spending, and can delay critical economic data releases. But the overarching lesson, markets tend to look through the political noise and focus on fundamentals like earnings, growth, and interest rates. So when the next shutdown looms, remember, headlines can rattle nerves, but history suggests the markets are resilient. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Sacramento gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations, and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life. Like a light switch gets turned back on. When a spouse says, "Thank you, I really have my partner back, better than before," that's the moment it all clicks for me. And that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000. Or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Picking up the pieces on a Friday. Henry Turner, Whiting Gleason, Jay Johnson. We got a special guest here to tell us about the Tampa Bay Bucks. Let me just share this real quick. How close could this game be? The 49ers average margin of, not victory, but average margin in their game so far, 3.6 points. Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay's average margin in their games is 3.
Wow.
So close games? Yeah, we think so. Let's find out here. Bucks beat writer from the Tampa Bay Times, Rick Stroud, with us. Thank you for your time, Rick. We appreciate it. Tampa Bay, like the Niners, been playing a lot of close games so far, huh?
Yeah, you could say that. Like everyone that they've played has come down to the last minute or so. They've won 4 of them in the final minute, a couple on the final play. So, I guess it's good news, bad news. You probably should be getting some separation in some of these games, but Baker Mayfield and those guys have done a terrific job in those 2-minute situations and have managed to win games late. So look, he's playing at a high level. They've got a ton of injuries like the 49ers. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at these two teams coming in here on Sunday, and I'm not sure who's going to be available to play for either one of them, but somehow they're both 4-1, and it's a credit to their coaching staff and their front office and all of that to keep these teams afloat because they just have so many injuries.
You know what? That's almost the question I was going to ask you. I was like, seeing that both of these teams are the walking wounded, I mean, you really can't get a good grasp on, really how important is this game when you playing two teams that's playing second and third string?
Well, I think they're all important, right? I mean, you're at the top of the NFC. There is no undefeated teams right now. The Bucs are really in the most difficult part of their schedule. They've got the Detroit Lions in Detroit next. So, they're kind of navigating a tough stretch here and hoping to get some guys back. Maybe Mike Evans is back in a week, maybe Chris Godwin in a few. He was somebody that was added to the injury list this week. So, they're really thin in so many areas, and yet, they've gotten some offensive linemen back. They've managed to spackle it together, and the biggest common denominator has been just the quarterback's playing out of his mind. He's playing at the highest level I think he's probably played in his career, and the team is feeding off, that shoulder chip that he always carries around with him. So they're managing to get it done, and they've had some good drafts. They've got some good young players. and it's just kind of worked for him so far. But we all know, it's a week-to-week league. Things can change really quickly. We're only, 5 weeks into the season. This is week 6, so a lot of runway in front of us for both teams. And but I think it's a credit to, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and Jason Light and Todd Bowles to kind of keep this thing on the tracks, to be honest with you.
Rick, you're talking about Baker Mayfield, and I was going to ask you about Baker. Huge fan myself, man. He seems to be the leader in the clubhouse for MVP on many people's ballot. Just how great has he been playing? You've got an opportunity to see him up close and personal.
Yeah, well, for the 3 years that he's been here, going on 3 years, this is the best football I think he's played, and I think it's on a lot of levels. Obviously, when you can have comeback wins like that, a lot of quarterbacks are judged in those 2-minute situations. But more than that, I think he's been very intentional about protecting the football. Last year, he led the NFL in interceptions with 18. He still had 41 touchdowns and 4,500 yards passing, so he had a great year. But he was very, worked very hard on protecting the football. Knock on wood for him that, he could do that. And I think, he's only had 1 interception this season. And the thing that's, I think people don't understand, a couple things about Baker is just how resilient he's been throughout his career. And in many ways, he's the same guy, the same brash guy that, we talked to him the other day. They called it immature. They called it, arrogant and this and that. And now it's moxie, right? When you're winning or losing is usually what changes the narrative. And he's managed to do that. He's found a real home here. He's got a lot of good players around him when they're healthy. But he's throwing the ball exceptionally well. I mean, that last game is probably the best I've seen him throw it. He has one throw about 64 yards on a line to Emeka Egbuka that was just, an absolute seed. So he's seeing the field. He's creating with his legs. He's running when he has to. But mostly he's just in complete control. And I think having continuity of the offense, not the same offensive coordinator, but the system is the same this year for 2 years in a row, which hasn't happened in his career probably ever. That certainly helped him as well.
I was about to say that, it's funny how you say he's been the same guy. And I was going to ask you, is it more so him or the system he's running, or is it just the front line that's holding it up that's giving him all this time to where he can show what he can do?
Well, I think the offensive line, when they've gotten together, has given them protection, especially throwing the ball down the field like they have. They've been very successful with some explosives down the field. I think the biggest thing is, like with all these quarterbacks, and we saw it, last week with Sam Darnold. I mean, that guy was on fire too, and to think him and Sam were in Carolina together is pretty remarkable. But these guys have second acts in this league. When you're taking number 1 overall and you go to a team that was 1-31, you get to the playoffs in your third year and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then things fall apart because it's a bad organization. The one thing you can say about the Bucs is that they've had continuity in the front office. They did go through some coaches, obviously, but they kept most of their coaching staff when Bruce Arians retired and passed the baton to Todd Bowles. And I think, look, let's not fool ourselves. What Tom Brady did for this organization and what he brought, the work ethic, there were a lot of good players here. That's why he chose to come here. But they've got some Super Bowl champions still left on this roster, and young guys that have learned from them. And like Emeka Egbuka, who's benefited from Mike Evans and Chris Godwin being in his ear. So I think all of that is to say that it's been a pretty solid organization. There are better players around Baker, and he's thrived with that sort of, really with the consistency. It's just, there's no agendas. It's just about winning.
We're catching up with Rick Stroud, a Bucs beat writer for the Tampa Bay Times, getting ready for the 49ers and the Bucs. Rick, you mentioned John Lynch, and I know you've covered the Bucs for a long time. What kind of player was John Lynch there, and do you see any of the things he embodied as a player that are reflected in this 49er team that he has helped put together?
Well, he was a Hall of Fame player. That's what he was, and I think that's, you start there, right? But it was interesting. John had kind of an evolution in his career, early when he was first here and Tony Dungy arrived. He wasn't a starter, he had to work his way into that. There was a time when he was thinking about going back to baseball, if you could believe that. I believe he threw out the first pitch in the Marlins organization ever. But he, you turn on the tape, guys, you see exactly who John was. John would knock you the hell out. And I think that the play that epitomized it for me. We were in Chicago playing at Soldier Field. It was a cold day, and his brother-in-law John Allred was a tight end for the Bears. And swear to God, first half, the whole family's there, both sides, his wife's family, his family, and they're up in some sky suite up atop Soldier Field. And one of the early plays in that game, Allred comes across the middle, catches the ball, and John Lynch knocks him out. I mean, cold. I mean, laid him out there on Soldier Field. He was done. And, I'm sure the family wasn't too happy about it, but it didn't matter with John. John was there to play and play hard, and I was surprised, and I think a lot of people disappointed when he left Tampa. They failed him on a physical because they said he had, some narrowing of his neck or spine or whatever. And somehow he did pass that physical in Denver and made 4 more Pro Bowls. So he was a remarkable player. He's one of the more knowledgeable guys in this league. I'm not surprised that he's been successful there. And I know, they want to get over the hump, obviously, but what they're doing this year might be the best job that Kyle and him have done, I think.
Rick, Bucky Irvin going to be out this week again. Rachaad White's jumping in for him. What's expected for him? He's averaging 4 yards a carry here, $150 just about on the season. Now that he's kind of the lead back heading into this week, what can the 49ers expect?
Well, Rachaad's not Bucky Irving. He doesn't have the make-you-miss ability unless he's in space as a receiver. He's a better receiver. He's exceptional with his hands. And I think that, they try to get him out there in the flat when they can. He's an absolutely exceptional pass protector. He does a nice job standing those guys up. And he runs hard. He runs hard. He's got decent vision. He's not going to give you the explosives necessarily. But look, this is a contract year for Rachaad. He's had to take a step back and be kind of RB2 or RB1A or whatever you want to call it. And that was humbling for him, but he's certainly motivated and he's embracing this opportunity. And I think the other guy that didn't get many carries last week, but I'll tell you, last year we saw him, is Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker played extensively in a game last year at New Orleans and was the NFC Player of the Week. He had about 165 yards total offense. So they've still got a good stable of running backs. I think, the offensive line isn't whole yet, but it's getting there. With Tristan Wirfs back at left tackle and able to move Graham Barton to center and Ben Bredesen at left guard. And I think Charlie Heck's done a decent job at right tackle. So the protection's been good. They are creating some lanes to run in. And while they'll miss Bucky, it's not all hope has failed there. They'll be able to run the football.
Rick, we appreciate your time very much and your insight. Enjoy the game. We hope to talk to you again soon. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Anytime.
Rick Stroud, Bucs beat writer, Tampa Bay Times. I was going to ask him about the heat and the humidity and the hydration. He was like, nah, that's fine. I think we're good. We're good.
Yeah. You want to ask about that weather?
Nah.
It matters in football, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't
well, that's
know.
why you got to ask.
Yeah.
See, that was another reason why I couldn't play football. Can you imagine playing football in Minnesota? Man, it's freezing.
Which would you rather, though? Play in Minnesota or play like in Florida when it's...
I'd rather do Florida, man.
Really?
Yeah. I can't do the cold. Cold
But
just
it's
shuts
easier
me
to
down.
warm yourself up than it is to cool yourself down.
I don't know. No, it ain't.
Doesn't feel that way. Yeah. But see, we Cali boys. So
that's true.
Yeah, that's it.
That's true.
Because I'm with you. People always, it's so humid. I'm like, yeah, I come from a place where it's $115, though.
You know what? Hey, I'm telling you, I can deal with humidity. I can deal with it hot.
I can, too.
But I tell you what, I cannot sleep if my feet are cold.
Come on.
It's over with.
Freezing.
I cannot
Could you
sleep.
imagine sitting out there in Green Bay?
Bro.
And it's -3?
And you got to get hit?
Nah, I'm cool.
Yeah, it's over with.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I'll be like Colin Kaepernick or Jerry Rice, right? No sleeves. No sleeves playing in
Yeah,
Green
crazy,
Bay,
man.
Chicago.
Hey.
Yeah.
JR, the best that have ever done it. That's why red beans and rice is my favorite meal. Boy, I tell you, love me some Jerry Rice, boy.
Speaking of the best who've ever done it, we got a treat for you when we come back. The high flyer, Henry Turner, his all-time NBA team. Is this your favorites or just the guys that
my all-time NBA team.
Yeah. Henry Turner's all-time.
I roll with him.
Yeah.
I roll with him.
Now, Jay, he's best friends with like Gary Payton and Jason Kidd. Who's going to be his point guard?
Gonna be interesting, ain't it?
Who's going to be his point guard? We'll find out
Don't
when we
forget
come back.
Brian Shaw. There's a few other folks in there, too.
Right, yeah. That's
Yeah.
next on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they're upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. And you've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Need cash fast? Tap into the value of your home with a home equity line of credit from Valley Strong Credit Union. Whether it's for home improvements, debt consolidation, or that dream vacation, you can get your cash offer in minutes. That's right, just minutes to unlock the power of your home's equity with no hard credit pull to see how much cash you can get. No stress, no waiting, just smart local banking that puts you first. Grow your possibilities with Valley Strong Credit Union. Visit valleystrong.com to get started today.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Flashback Friday with the Drive Guys.
Hey. Get my Chicago stepping on.
Who step?
Yeah.
Henry Turner with us today.
Ron Eisen.
We're going to hear the High Flyers all-time NBA team, his favorites, in just a moment. Before we get to that, this isn't breaking news, but it's something to keep an eye on. Remember when Jonathan Kuminga's situation was resolved, at least in the short term, we were wondering, well, what does this mean as far as the Kings and Russ? And we haven't heard anything, but Shams today says there's strong mutual interest between Russell Westbrook and the Sacramento Kings. Strong mutual interest.
Wow.
Carmichael Dave says at this point, this is on X, Carmichael Dave says, if they can't figure out the money, I'd say based on talks, if they can figure out the money, I'd say based on talks, it's 70-30 Russell Westbrook joins the Kings this year. As a fallback, he has a lucrative offer waiting for him in China. So
another guard. Another guard.
Yeah. We'd heard a lot about how the Kings were in the midst of all the Kuminga stuff. Well, they're trying to move a guard so they have room for Russ. So they didn't move a guard, but now they're going to bring in Russ anyway. I don't understand it, but it'd be interesting.
Hey, you know what? Maybe they're going to figure it out. Maybe they're going to figure it out. We talked about you said straight out that there's an A, there's a B. It's going to be two different lanes. Well, maybe they figured it out.
Maybe. We'll see. So we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, share any information we get on that. Right now, we got something no one else has. Henry Turner's all-time NBA team.
All right.
Yeah.
Starting at point guard.
Okay. Now, you could do a couple of reserves if you want. It's your team.
I'm going to give you five.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Starting at point guard.
Yeah.
6'9".
Oh.
Michigan State. Yes. Magic Johnson.
Now, how does he get the nod over your personal friends? Ryan Shaw, Jason Kidd, Gary Payton.
I love those guys. But ain't none of them Magic Johnson. I'm sorry. Magic changed the game. When Magic became point guard and running, the Showtime, that revolutionized the NBA to where everybody wanted to run a big point guard.
Yeah, 6'9" point guard was just amazing what he could do.
Killed it. That's why they were so successful. So at point guard, I got Magic Johnson.
I remember the Warriors drafted a guy. It was a good player named Lester Connor.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the reasons they drafted him, they said he's a magic stopper.
Right.
He's a good player, but he wasn't a magic stopper.
Hey, now, Lester's my cousin, right?
Is he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Les my cousin.
Player. Good player, but
Les was a very good player. Went to Fremont High. My alma mater.
He went to Oregon, Oregon State.
Yeah, he went to Oregon State.
Oregon State, yeah.
Came out of Chabot College.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Okay.
But he wasn't no magic
No,
stopper.
he was not.
No,
and
nowhere close.
He didn't say that. They said that.
Nowhere close.
Yeah.
All right. Starting at the two guard. 6'6" from North Carolina. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
You got a pretty good team so far, Henry.
Over the rock?
Yeah, see, that's what I thought.
Love Mitch.
Well, you getting disrespectful with the family.
But once again, he ain't Michael Jordan.
I thought Jay Kidd and Mitch Richmond were locks for this team.
Oh, no. They're talking all time. Come on, man. Starting small forward. the guy with the best afro in the NBA and ABA. I'm going to say number 32 because I'm not going to say number 6. Number 32, Julius the Doctor Irving.
See, no, I thought you might be going Larry Bird, but when you went afro, I was like, nope, it ain't Larry Bird.
Larry ain't never had a fro?
Hey, Larry was definitely invited to the cookout, and he probably would have came with a fro. The way Larry Bird get down.
You know the story of when they got into a fight and Julius choked Larry Bird?
I don't know the story, but I remember it.
Yeah, and apparently what happened was, it was kind of late in Doc's career, and Larry Bird was keeping a running tally, and it was like, that's 12 points for me and 4 for you. Every time he'd score, that's 15 for me and 4 for you. And Doc just went after, and I think Larry said, I regret doing that. I shouldn't have done that.
Hey, but you know what? Julius Irving, and believe me, everybody that's on my list, I'm talking in their prime.
Okay.
Julius Irving in his prime was unstoppable. Nobody could do nothing with him in his prime.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a lot of him in his prime because he was in the
ABA. Right.
Yeah.
But see, we two old dogs here. I remember the ABA. The red and white and blue ball.
Yes, I just remember the way that afro, like I said, was so big, it would bob in the air in the wind when he was coming down the lane.
He would be coming down the lane so fast, his afro would be blowing. Yeah. Dude, he would take off with them white knee pads on and the Converse.
Yeah.
Julius Irving, baby. Can't beat it.
That's a good team so far.
All right. At my power forward position, and I was kind of stuck on this one for a long time. At my power forward position, but I think this dude is probably top 2 power forward ever play the game. I'm going with big fundamentals, Tim Duncan.
Ooh. And Tim will be fine. Obviously, you got a lot of guys that need the ball a lot. Tim's going to be okay with that.
Oh, yeah, and Magic going to make sure everybody eat.
Yeah.
For sure. So, Tim Duncan at my power forward position.
I think Tim Duncan is vastly underrated.
Vastly. But for what he did and the numbers and how he played and the dynasty that he built, Tim Duncan, man, I'm telling you, if I wrestled with him and Karl Malone.
I think you made the right choice.
I wrestled with him and Karl Malone, but I'll take Tim Duncan.
I think in some ways even Magic's underrated. Because no one ever talks about him as like the greatest. And he's not the greatest, but he should be considered.
Changed it. Put it this way, almost everybody on my list changed the game.
Uh-huh.
Because believe me, Tim Duncan changed the way power forwards were looked at in the league.
Mm-hmm. But you got one more spot.
Oh, yeah.
And Tim can play. He can slide into the center spot if you need him to.
Yeah. Okay. At the center spot, remember, I'm talking about guys in their prime who can just change the game.
Michael Olowokandi.
And I might as well say, he said Michael Olowokandi. I was trying to think of
Benoit Benjamin.
Hakeem Thabit. No. It's only one. Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Shaq Diesel at the center. Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. People really didn't understand how freakishly athletic Shaq was when he was young.
You're talking about skinny Shaq, aren't you?
Yes, young in his prime Shaq, running up and down the floor like a guard Shaq, okay? Strong as an ox Shaq is going to go through you, up and over and through you. Nobody could do nothing with Shaq when he was in his prime, bro. Mm-hmm. So that's my all-time 5 right there.
All right. Julius Irving, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson.
Now, if I had to bring some guys off the bench, at the point guard position, Jason Kidd. Jason.
He's just saying that.
No. Nobody's seen.
He feels bad.
No, nobody's seen the floor like Jake Kidd.
I'm about to text him.
Nobody's seen the floor like Jake Kidd.
Tell him you an afterthought, Jay.
Hey. Coming off the bench at number 2. No one other than George, the Iceman Gervin. Number 3.
You ever seen the documentary on him? You got to see it if you haven't seen it.
No, I ain't seen it.
It's great.
Number 3, LB, Larry Bird.
All right.
Karl Malone at the 4.
Yeah.
And Mr. 100 points coming off the bench at center, Wilt Chamberlain.
I don't see LeBron James on your team.
Who? Who's that?
LeBron.
LeBron who?
All right. That's quite a team.
You mean Bronny James?
No, his dad.
Who?
Yeah, Bryce's dad. Yeah. All right.
Oh, the guy that's hurt.
Yes, that's the guy. Thank you, High Flyer. Why Hollinger says the Kings will miss the play-in doesn't mean he's right. We'll tell you why he says they will next. Sactown Sports.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Lob ball. George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Amateur players will be pleased to know that the USGA doesn't object to a friendly bet with your weekend foursome. Friendly bets include soft drinks after the round, hot dogs at the turn, or even a $2 Nassau, one of the most widely used bets in golf. It takes its name from the Nassau County Country Club of Glen Cove, Long Island, one of the many clubs frequented by the well-to-do in the late 19th century. As the story goes, matches between these clubs were often reported in the local newspapers, sometimes to the embarrassment of wealthy industrialists coming out the loser. The Nassau captain J.B. Coles Tappan then devised a format where the worst possible result could not be reported as anything more than a 3-0 defeat. In a Nassau, 3 equal wagers are placed on the first 9, the second 9, and 18-hole total. A $2 Nassau is sometimes referred to as a 2-2-2 bet. Some play better with a bet to keep their attention. Others are nervous at the thought of losing. Whatever your choice, golf is a game. Have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
In San Diego, kids are standing up against big tobacco.
We are here to discuss the urgent issue of vapes being sold near schools and other places where people gather.
I was enticed, like so many others my age, and this is exactly how the tobacco market was trying to get me to react, and I was completely unaware.
Today, over 100 California communities restrict tobacco sales near youth spaces, like schools and parks. Learn how these teens and other Californians are beating big tobacco at undo.org.
Right now, receive up to a $25 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping 1 day of insane Milwaukee deals on Saturday, October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits at insanely low prices. All Milwaukee hand tools, tool accessories, and Milwaukee pack-out boxes will be 20% off. Spend $100 and you'll get a lotto ticket for up to $1,000 off your next order. Again, that's 1 day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We're thrilled to have you with us on this Friday. Thrilled to have the high flyer Henry Turner with us. We have, Drapes has been no longer an official everyday part of the show. It's been a week now, but, he's still going to be on the show. So he just won't take our calls, Jay, for some reason.
He ain't, especially after the catastrophe over the last week of his squad.
Right. Since he left the show, as I mentioned earlier, the Eagles are 0-2.
Love it.
Only been gone a week, and they're 0-2.
Oh.
Yeah. You had the collapse of the Philadelphia Phillies last night. So Drapes will be on the call tonight, right?
He is. Tonight he is.
And I think this is also a Kings.com, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, I can't remember. Let me check on this one.
We'll double check on that. We mentioned a little bit ago that Shams had some information on the Kings and Russell Westbrook. Did you say you have some sound on that, Jay? Yeah, here's Shams. This is on ESPN on NBA today. Here's Shams on the Kings and Russ.
Yeah. Look, I'm told there is strong mutual interest between Russell Westbrook and the Sacramento Kings, and the Kings have a need for a reserve point guard. They were 29th in bench points, 29th in bench assists last season. Russell Westbrook helps with that, and he's got relationships across that organization. Domantas Sabonis, he's close with, played with him. He played with Dennis Schroeder as well. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, they have LA ties as well. B.J. Armstrong, the new assistant general manager there, he knows B.J. Armstrong from the agency side, and he does have respect with Scott Perry, their new general manager, and Doug Christie, their new head coach. We'll see if a deal gets done before the start of the season or during this upcoming year.
Do the Kings need a backup point guard?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Is that a need?
We're loaded at the point guard position. Okay, we've got Schroeder. We've got...
He's a starter. Then you got Malik, I guess.
Okay. Keon's a combo guard. He can go one or two. We have Devin Carter.
Neek Clifford?
Neek can play a little bit there.
I don't know why y'all keep putting that can at the point
Scott
guard.
Perry said it.
Come on, man.
Just going off what SP said.
I understand.
And he plays that way kind of naturally.
I understand. He's a facilitator. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He's a facilitator from the two.
All right. Yeah.
But I'm with you guys. I mean, we're loaded right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we even talked about Zaxton and there also. I mean, he's not playing point, but he's a guard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and according to Carmichael Dave, Russ has potentially something brewing in China, so he may be looking at. I don't know if he's playing that off the Kings or. So apparently they're working on it.
I bet a team in China gonna throw some big money at him too, just to have Russell Westbrook play in China. Every big time player here goes over to China and gets that payday. They get broke off.
You went over to not China. You went to.
When I was playing overseas, China wasn't a big commodity. The Asian market wasn't there. It was all about the European scene. I played in Italy, Spain, Greece, and in Turkey. And that was back when I first went to Italy. I think the big marquee guys that went over there that day was Brian Shaw and Danny Ferry. They went to Il Messaggero, which was in Rome. And they were kind of like the first guys to go over there and get that $1 million money. So Italy was the spot to be. And then
how's
Greece,
your Italian?
Il Palatano perfecto.
Okay.
Grande.
Does that mean big?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, speak Italian pretty good. A lot of it definitely has slipped since I've been back in the States. I didn't use it at all, but I was able to, get around and, ask questions and order food and eat. And I got pretty good with Italian.
What's the best food there?
Come on, pasta, man.
Okay, tell me how good. Is it really that much better?
Yes.
Okay.
Italian pasta and American pasta are two different things. Totally different.
Definitely.
the way they prepare the noodles and how they go by with the sauces and everything.
Consistency of the sauce. Yeah.
You been to Italy too?
Yeah. Totally different. You know, and in Italy, the way they tell if the noodles are ready, they throw it up against the wall. If it bounces off, it's not ready. If it sticks, it's ready. They bring it out to you in a pack.
So if it bounces off and it lands on the floor, it's not ready. They put it back in and cook it.
I didn't say that. They just take a piece off and throw it against the wall.
All right, I see. Okay.
If it sticks, it's ready. If it bounces back off, you keep letting it cook.
See, my wife went to high school in Rome. So
Really?
Yeah. And, you know, when I was in high school, we went to Reno once. So, you know,
same. I mean, you know, close.
So
He said, we got a chance to drive through Yuba City.
Yeah. All right. So maybe Russ comes here. It sure sounds like it's something that they've been talking about. Both sides are interested for a long time.
It's been in the works for a long time, and they've been tossing it around. So, you know, can Russell come here and help this team? Maybe so. I mean, you know, a lot of help is needed. And like you said, you really have to think about, okay, what direction you're going in now. Because let's say if Russ comes here, does that change how you run your offense? Does that change how you approach defensively? You know, are you going to run Russ specifically at the one, or is it going to be a combo guard? How is that going to work out? So I think, you know, if they do go out and bring Russell, I think that just opens up a couple of more questions about, okay, well, how are we going to play as a basketball team?
By the way, the game tonight, is kings.com/live. Of course, you could hear it right here with a high flyer on pre and post on Sactown Sports. But, yeah, the game is available to be viewed, kings.com/live. I have Roku, so we got the NBC Sports app, and I just kind of watched it. It's just like I was watching it on the TV. Just streamed it on there. So
nice.
Yeah. But we'll just have to wait and see about Russell Westbrook. Interesting. I was assuming that, okay, they didn't have the room on the roster, and it's probably not going to work out. It's going to be an interesting season.
You know what? I'm happy to see that they're still willing to make some changes. You know, just not stay static and say, okay, it is what it is. We're going to have to roll with this. They're still trying to make the team better. I'm with that.
Nothing wrong with that, at least in theory. This is what we have from John Hollinger today at The Athletic, predicting how the bottom of the NBA's Western Conference will play out in 25-26. John Hollinger, I don't know if you know John Hollinger. I don't know him, but I know that he's been in the league. I think he worked in the Memphis front office for a while, and he writes now in The Athletic. So he divides the conferences up for some reason, top and bottom. And he's looking at the bottom of the West here. He's got 15, Utah. He's got 14, Portland, the team, of course, that the Kings see tonight. Then he's got finishing 13th, Nolans, with only 32 wins. 12th, Phoenix. 11th, Sacramento Kings. John Hollinger says the Kings this year, 36-46, Henry. The Kings, writes Hollinger, had a nice 2-year run where they were just a normal, respectable NBA team. Last season, they brought back the Kings. Sacramento panicked and fired Mike Brown after an early losing streak, then installed Doug Christie as head coach. As with many Sacramento hires in the last decade, his main qualification for the job seemed to be that he played for the early 2000s Kings. De'Aaron Fox decided he wanted out, was traded to San Antonio. The Kings pushed out Monty McNair as GM, brought back Scott Perry, who split for the Knicks after 3 months the first time he had the gig. So here we are. Again, this is Hollinger. He says, among other things here, he does say the roster isn't that bad. Easy to forget the Kings had a positive net rating last season and made the play-in. He also suggests that there may be some questions still about Doug Christie. He says, the front court depth looks shaky with a capital S, and Christie is a question mark on the sideline at best. So there's a whole bunch he writes here. You can look it up if you care to. Obviously, we're a little biased here. I don't know where that would come from.
Me neither.
When there's a lot of coaches now, and he's been there a year, and he played in the league, and he was an assistant coach. You know this, Henry, especially now in the NBA. There's a lot of guys that go from anonymous assistant to head coach. Doug was a head coach. He certainly was not anonymous. Question mark on the sideline at best. I don't see that.
You know, my thing is this. I'm glad the Kings gave Doug the chance. I'm really tired of seeing these old regurgitated coaches coming up into the NBA. We've said it. The league has changed. The game has changed. The mentality of some of these old coaches has changed. These young players, they're not listening. They're not riding with some of the things that these old coaches would love to preach. So that's why you got to bring in some new coaches to be able to deal with these new jack players. Doug Christie's one of them.
And again, trying to be totally objective, I don't remember one moment last year where we or anybody nationally could look at the Kings and say, "Whoa, boy, Doug got outcoached there." It was just inexperience really showed. I don't remember one moment like that.
No. And see, and I think when some of these guys write these columns, they have never been to Sacramento. They've never talked to Doug Christie. They've never talked to none of the players here. They're just going off of what some other people have been reporting. So at the end of the day, I'm with you. Doug Christie, I ain't never seen a situation to where you say he got out-coached. And I'll definitely tell you this. It won't be a situation to where you say he got outworked.
Right.
The dude is one of the hardest working people in the show business.
Yeah.
He gets it done, And then at the end of the day, he don't understand how Doug really brings in these players. He really motivates the players. The players really respect him. So I think the dude might need to do a little bit more of his homework before he just starts throwing some out like that.
Yeah. Who did we invite? Was it Amin Al-Hassan? Yeah, we invited him out, and he said, I'd love it out there. I want to come out. He hasn't come out yet, but we did invite him out here. He also says one more nice thing about the Kings from John Hollinger in The Athletic. In theory, the Kings are not barren in terms of assets, with 5 tradable first-rounders, including an unprotected 2031 Minnesota pick. But who are they acquiring that pushes this team to the point where trading major draft equity makes sense? I don't know. One thing I'll say for Monty, I think Monty did a really good job here in a lot of ways. One thing he did was he left the Kings in good shape as far as their draft picks. He really did.
I mean, after a while, you have to start looking at the future, and it's a slippery slope, Whitey. When you're out trying to make the team that you have right now competitive, and still try to think about, okay, well, what are we going to do 3 years down the road? It's tough. It's really tough doing that. So that's why them GMs get paid that type of money, because it's not as simple as saying, oh, this guy is good, go get that guy.
There is one glaring hole in the roster that Hollinger writes about. I think anybody who's being objective about it, whether they work for the team or don't, or they just watch the team a couple times, would have to acknowledge this. Up front, writes Hollinger, the Kings have a certified masher in Domas, but otherwise they're puny. I don't know if I'd say puny. That's what he says. DeMar DeRozan masquerades as a power forward. Drew Eubanks is what passes for the backup center. I think he's going to be pretty good this year. Nick Clifford likely will need to play immediately because of the limited forward depth. They do lack depth in the front court.
No doubt. Yeah. No doubt. We know that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what we were talking about when we said, who's going to be in the dunker spot? That's that 4. We know that. That's some of the things to where, Scott Perry and the brass, they're going to have to, go out and see what's out there and what's going to be best for this team.
Well, sounds like they're more focused on bringing in Russell Westbrook. But
I'll tell you one thing, okay, Whitey.
He riding that, ain't he?
The Isaac Jones conversation has kind of lulled, hasn't it, as we've gotten closer to the season? Or is that just me?
I'm with you on that, Jay. I was a little bit higher on IJ to see what he can do. But right now, it seems like at that position, they're going young. They're going young because, Max put on a show in Vegas. He showed a lot of promise. And you just can't teach 7 foot.
True.
7 foot is 7 foot. You can't teach that, and you can't go to the local 7-Eleven and just pick it off the shelf.
Right.
It's not going to happen. So that guy got a hand up on that. And then, the other young rookie, the size that he has and what he's able to do around the basket. And Doug really likes him because of the size that he brings.
Yeah, those are great points. I'm glad you brought that up, Jay. Because, a guy like Hollinger doesn't know Isaac Jones and probably is not going to give him any credit because he's thinking, A, I haven't really heard of him. B, it's the Kings. But I think a lot of people around the league are still looking at the Kings roster and going, Dario Saric, he can't play anymore. Well, I don't think the Kings are really expecting much out of Dario Saric. But if they get IJ, and I'm glad, again, that you brought that up, or Dylan Cardwell, maybe they've got some there that just other people don't realize they have yet.
I think both of those guys are going to be able to help. Now, how much, I don't know, but I think they're going to be able to help. You know, when you start talking about guys like Saric and McBuckets, where do they fit in the overall scheme? I have no idea.
I like McBuckets a lot. I was surprised when he stayed here, re-signed here. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm not saying, but I was surprised.
My question is, like I said, where does he fit in the overall scheme? Okay, you know, pros and cons with him. Dude shoots the ball.
That's it. Yeah.
He shoots the ball.
And he's got experience. He's played in the league a long time.
We'll give him that. As far as on the defensive side, not so much.
Right.
So, you know, like I said, where are you going with that?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, once again, it depends upon how you utilize the guy. You know, they just I looked at Dougie McBuckets last year as he played special teams.
Mm-hmm.
He played special teams. When you needed somebody to come in and just knock down a couple of shots, they called his number.
And then it worked sometimes. I remember one of the games in Denver where they brought him in late.
Oh, yeah.
And he brought him back into the game.
And he got hot.
Yeah.
He got hot and he knocked down some shots. You know, like I said, in case of emergency, break glass, he was a special team player for a basketball squad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, again, Hollinger has the Kings finishing 11th at 36-46.
Dang, who's behind him? Utah, and that's it?
Phoenix 12. Yeah. New Orleans 13. Like I said, 14 is Portland, and then 15 is Utah. Yeah.
That's not going to get it, fellas.
No, but even if that's true, if you're somewhere in that range, you're still in the play-in discussion for most of the year.
You know, for me to say we've had a successful season, I would say Kings got to give you at least 42.
Mm-hmm.
42, I say, okay.
It's a winning record.
42, I'm like, okay. However you got there, I'm fine with it. But you're taking a step in the right direction. 36, not going to cut it.
By the way, he has Memphis sneaking in as the final play-in team, 10th, with 39 wins. So even if let's just say he's exactly right, the Kings would still be in the play-in hunt. I know for a lot of fans, like, we don't want that. But you'd be on the fringe of the play-in race. He has
39?
39 he has getting into the play-in.
Well,
and then he also was Dallas, Dallas 9. And then
so he expects a down year this year.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, for some reason, got Dallas way down. You know, I look at Dallas as a team like this. Either they could be real, real good, or everything can fall apart. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you seen an organization have basically 2 All-Stars in Davis and Kyrie Irving and the overall number 1 pick, and they're not projected to do anything?
Well, I think one of the reasons for that is we're not sure when Kyrie's coming back.
That's true.
Yeah, it might not be till next year. But to your point, he comes back at some point, mid-season or thereabouts, and he's ready to go.
Right.
And AD stays relatively healthy, which I know is a big if.
That's another one.
Yeah, they could be pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Either they're going to be real, real good, or everything can fall apart. You know, because they still got some other players on their team that's pretty good. But I hear they're trying to move P.J. Washington.
Ooh.
I mean, P.J. Washington's name's been thrown around a little bit.
You know any teams that need help in the front court?
Don't look at me like that, man.
They passed on him. Well, I don't know if they were in the running, but they didn't get him last time he was available when Dallas got him.
Hey, let me tell you this. Every time P.J. Washington has walked in the G1, he has given us big-time buckets. I don't care who he played for. He has went at the Sacramento Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're a little upset about that.
Yesterday we talked about this GM survey, and there's one thing in there that I missed yesterday that I wanted to go back over here. It's a survey, annual survey NBA.com does of all the general managers, asking them all kinds of questions. Who's the best this? Who's the best that? Who's the best coach? One of the questions that I didn't bring up yesterday is this. Who is the best international player not in the NBA? 44% of the GM said one guy. Can you guess who it is?
Well, you better not do that. It's not Sasha Vezenkov. You better not do that.
It is.
I knew that. I saw it yesterday.
Costa Kufas.
Eddie Tavares, Kendrick Nunn, Mirotic, Chetty Osman, Isaac Bonga, and Sasha Vezenkov.
You know what? I don't even know if you remember this. You and we had a conversation about Sasha.
I do.
And I said, one or two things going to happen for him. I said, if he comes here and he plays well, everything is going to be great. I said, but if he comes here and his minutes aren't what he think they should be, he's going to pack it right back up and go back overseas and play. Because it's hard to come here when you're all world in Europe. He was the man in Europe. Couldn't get any bigger. You're a superstar. You've paid. Everybody loves you. Your name is just written in lights. You come to the NBA and you sit on the bench.
You're a scrub.
You're a scrub. You don't play. You're not going to stay here. I don't care what they pay you because you're making more, probably more than that overseas anyway. He might have had to take a pay cut to come here.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't work out for him. And the first thing he said was, Sacramento, deuces, I'm going back.
He is the answer to what happened to the Beam team because they won the 48 games, and what are they going to do? They added him. I don't know if it's his fault, the front office, Monty's fault. I don't know, and I don't care whose fault it is, but that's what happened because he was supposed to be one of their big additions.
Yes.
Right?
The addition.
Yes.
The addition.
Maybe it was Mike and the front office weren't on the same page. I don't know what it was, but that just as far as trying to figure out what happened to that team. They brought him in thinking this is a guy that's going to elevate us, and obviously he did not.
And then, you have to understand this too because I've been on both sides of the pond. You have to understand that Europe basketball has come a long way, but it still isn't the NBA. It's not the NBA. So when Sasha got here, it was a little difficult for him because at the position that he played, his athletic skills were good enough for him to do whatever he wanted to do on the floor. When he got here, putting him at that 4, he was a little slow. A little slow and a little undersized. So it was hard for him to, play his game that he was used to playing.
I think he also got caught up in the back and forth between Mike Brown and the front office on, we got to get better defensively. No, we just got to be okay defensively. We got to be better offensively. So we brought in this great European player. And then from Mike's standpoint, he can't guard anybody. And I think that happened to him too.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, he definitely had, shortcomings. Offensively, he was supposed to be this guy that just knocked down shots whenever he touched the ball, and it wasn't that. He was even missing wide open shots.
Yeah. Well, I remember you and I talking about that, where he was almost letting go of the ball before he grabbed it.
Seemed like he was rushed. He never got comfortable here in Sacramento.
On his catch and shoots, by NFL rules, they wouldn't even be a catch because he didn't have the ball.
Bro, he got up off that ball faster than a lot of cats. Yeah.
Incomplete pass.
Yeah, just
chunk down.
Just chunk it in the air.
Yeah.
As my grandmother would say, you out there chunking that ball, boy.
Your grandma used to watch you?
No, she used to call when I was young, be out there just throwing the ball. Oh. You out there chunking it? That's what like he was doing when he was shooting.
When we come back, we'll take a look at what's up with the 49ers and who might play quarterback for them this week. Next on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers!
Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Game night in Sacramento? Light up your night at Revival at the Sawyer. This rooftop hotspot is where the city comes alive. Elevated vibes, stylish crowd, and the perfect view of the Golden One Center. Celebrate the wins, escape the chaos, and be part of the scene before, during, and after every Kings game. Revival, the place to see and be seen. When the final buzzer sounds, the energy doesn't stop. It just moves upstairs. Join fellow fans, stay close to the action, and make every Kings night unforgettable. Book your game day reservation at RevivalSacramento.com.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, in about 10 minutes, we'll have the code word of the day. You know the deal with the code word of the day? You text that in, and that is a shot for you at the grand prize. Winner receiving a pair of lower-level seats to the Kings versus OKC on November 7th, and a one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer, and a $200 gift card to Revival. So stay tuned for your code word, and give us a shot. Go to the website and sign up for updates, the newsletter from Sactown Sports. Get bonus opportunities doing that, Jay. It's nice.
I like it.
Take advantage of all these opportunities. Real quick here. Just a quick look at football. I know we're talking a lot of NBA, and we'll get back to the Kings, of course. We got the high flyer here. Brock Purdy will miss this game Sunday, of course, and looks like Mac Jones is questionable. 49ers for Sunday, out. Brock Purdy, toe. Out. Ricky Pearsall, knee. Questionable Mac Jones. Jones is expected to make the start on Sunday with Adrian Martinez as the backup. Well, if he's questionable, how do they know he's going to play? Well, Mac Jones said, we have a good plan in place, and I feel confident in just working through it day by day. That's all you can do. So, fingers crossed.
I was going to say, they can sign me. Can
you spin it?
I'm going to say, do they give 10 days?
Exhibition, exhibit, or what is it?
Yeah, do they give 10 days in the NFL?
You get a 49er two-way?
Yeah, give me a two-way, man. I can look over that line and throw it, sling it to somebody. The Niners got enough talent to where all I got to do is sling it up in the air and somebody will go get it.
What do you think, Jay? I know yesterday you were a little nervous. Questionable Mac Jones, Alfred Collins, Kalia Davis, Juwan Jennings, Malik Mustafa, Upton Stout.
Yeah, sounds like Malik's going to play. Sounds like Jennings is going to play.
Okay.
I don't know if Davis is. Davis, that's crazy. He had surgery and he was literally back at practice with the club on his hands past week.
They clubbed it. Yeah.
So maybe they let him go, but I maybe expect him next week. It's going to be a hell of a game, man. It's going to be a good game. The Tampa Bay, as we had Rick Stroud on from Tampa Bay Times, Buccaneers reporter, he said, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're missing 4 starters too.
Right.
Now it's not as much as the 49ers, but it should be a good game. Fred's going to have the boys ready to go on the defensive side. Just need the offense to show up a little bit.
What happens if Mac Jones, he gets bounced around or something, and he has to stay out at least for a couple plays?
Well, you know what happens. Why are you asking me this question?
Why are the 49ers putting themselves in this position? That's
what
I'm
else?
asking.
What would you think they're going to do?
They should have signed somebody else who
like
actually
who?
has played.
Like Mike White?
Yes.
Oh, dog. Mike White and Adrian Martinez is the same person.
But Adrian Martinez has never taken a snap. That's all.
I know it has to be a scary situation, though, because it is football.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he's questionable. He's got a couple of ailments. I mean, it's the toe and the abdominal, right?
The knee. It's the knee and the
oblique. Yeah, the oblique. So if he takes a good hit,
right,
where do you go now?
Mm-hmm. You go to Jay's guy, Adrian Martinez.
Hey, let me tell you.
He's going to be my guy.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what. Adrian Martinez better be on the sideline, ready to go.
Yeah, well, we had in the last
game.
Ready
to go.
HT, did you see him last game? He deer in headlights, man.
But I'm just saying, he's going to have to be thrown in the game if this dude gets one good hit.
Of course. Yeah.
One good stub to toe.
I don't blame him.
No, but I'm saying, if you ever had turf toe, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's Brock.
That's Brock.
That's
Brock.
Oh,
okay. Brock got the turf.
Brock's out.
Oh, we know Brock's done.
Yeah. But a sprained knee.
Yeah, a sprained knee.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Plus, he's already cramping up.
Right.
In Los Angeles, and now they're going to Tampa Bay.
Hey, drinking pickle juice and everything on the sidelines.
So I just don't know why they, didn't have another quarterback who's played. I guess they're fine with Adrian Martinez. But the last game, Kyle Shanahan said, I thought Mac was out, so I'm trying to think of what plays we can run for Adrian Martinez. If that's the case, why is he still the guy they might have to play?
Wow.
My question is, and maybe we pull it up, who else are you looking for?
Right.
At this point in week 6, who else are we? Adrian Martinez, quarterback option 1. Who's out there?
Yeah.
Go get Colin Kaepernick. Come on, break it down.
Yes.
Go get Cap.
He's played before.
I'm saying, go get Cap. I bet he can still sling it.
Yeah, there are guys out there who know the system and have played in the NFL.
Who?
Oh, who's the guy? They always sign him, and then the guy Brock beat out.
Nate Sudfeld.
That's the guy.
But he's on somebody's roster.
Is he?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow. It's thin.
Maybe it won't matter. Yeah. Maybe Adrian Martinez will be the guy. Maybe we'll be saying,
you know
all he
what?
needed was a chance.
Hey, and maybe the plan is protect him no matter what. All right? We're going to have Secret Service out there, and he is the president. Do not let nobody touch the Mac man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, they haven't been doing too good at that either.
Yeah. And I'm not saying Nate Sudfeld's a be-all, end-all, but
sure.
I believe he's available now.
I thought I saw him sign a couple weeks ago to somebody's practice squad.
Okay. His wiki says he's an American professional quarterback. Maybe you're right, and maybe that's why. But it seems to me they're kind of rolling the dice there, but maybe they have reason to roll the dice on.
Nate Sudfeld this is me. I'd rather see Adrian Martinez fail than bring back Nate Sudfeld. Nate said, I don't give a damn if you took 60 snaps for the 49ers. There's a reason why Adrian Martinez is here and you're not. That's the way I look at it.
What is the reason?
Is Nate Sudfeld ain't that damn good.
Is Adrian Martinez any good? We don't know.
There's an upside, but I'd rather see if he is versus not. That's my thing.
It must be a serious shortage of quarterbacks right about
Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
It's a deficiency in quarterbacks.
Well, you know why? And this is one of my pet peeves is you talk about recycled, ball players in basketball.
That's coaches, right?
Coaches in basketball. That's my issue with the quarterback spot in the NFL. There's hundreds of guys. But they're not like Adrian Martinez. They haven't been given the shot because we got people like Whitey who's like, oh, no, bring out Nate Sudfeld.
Or maybe there's another reason, Jay, and this is what concerns me.
Okay, here we go.
Could be that you got a coach of your team who is so confident in his scheme.
Well, that's true, too.
To the point that he might even be arrogant enough to think,
anybody can run it.
Anybody can run it.
Well, okay.
With my system.
Well, you debunked that part of it, so I give you that. But I'm talking about the bigger picture of the NFL.
And the
49ers different. You're right about the 49ers.
And the cool part about it is you got a quarterback down there, Shedeur Sanders, that can't get no run.
There's a lot of folks.
That can't get no run. They refuse to play the young man.
And everybody's like, I want Joe Flacco. I'll trade for Joe Flacco.
Right, I'll take Flacco.
Right. Refuse to play the man.
That's the thing with the NFL.
Wow.
Like, Whitey is spot on when it comes to the 49ers. I truly believe you're spot on. The 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, whoever wanted, we call it Kyle Shanahan. Shannon Lynch, right. Shannon Lynch didn't go get anybody because you're spot on with Kyle Shanahan's thought process. It could be me back there, and I think we're going to make it happen. I'll scheme it open, just make the pass, the easy throw, the 5 yards. We'll give it to CMC. We'll figure it out. The NFL thing is a bigger problem, though. Like, there are plenty of arms out there who at least give them a game. Give them 2. Let's see. Now, I understand you put them in a regular season game, things count. So I definitely understand that part, too.
Well, if that happens.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Does Matt Ryan want to come off? Like, that's what we always hear,
idea.
Right?
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, do you
Phillip
think
Rivers. Where's Phillip Rivers?
Wow.
Coach in high school. Get him.
Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic, right?
Y'all going deep.
But that's how the NFL thinks.
Mm-hmm.
They'd rather go that route than any other route.
What's Drew Bledsoe doing?
Wow. Say, wait, can Doug Williams still walk?
Yeah. Where's Quincy Carter when you need him? We'll come back and take a look at why GMs around the NBA, thank you, Jay, seem to be thinking that the Kings might blow this thing up. But first, here is your code word. So you text this into us, 1-800-920-1140, 339-1140. You text this into us, and then you're in the running there for the grand prize. Pair lower-level seats to the Kings versus OKC on November 7th. A one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer and a $200 gift card to Revival. Your code word for this hour is ball. As in, Lonzo, LaMelo, basket, ball. Good luck. That's a nice prize, Henry.
Hey, you got me with just a room at the Kimpton. The room at the Sawyer, I'm in.
Yep, we're right back. Drive Guys with the High Flyer next on Sactown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Here's my concern, Jay. The game is like a big barbecue. Kyle Shanahan, he's your grill master, okay? And the quarterbacks are your meats. So what happens? Oh, Brock Purdy is like high quality. We're going to have these high quality steaks flown in, Kyle, but they're not available. That's all right. What else we got? We got some delicious ribs, right, from Kansas City. Yeah, that's Mac Jones. That's not available either, Kyle. So what do we do? Just give me the Kirkland. I'll make it happen.
We got Kirkland brand steak.
Yes, that's what Kyle thinks, because he's like, I'm the grill master. It doesn't matter. What kind of barbecue you gonna have, Jay? That's what I'm concerned with.
You could bring in some third-grade hamburger and make it work.
I hope I'm wrong, but that's
60-40 split beef.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't you still have a little bit of seasonings in the cabinet because Mac Jones is out there first?
Well, that's Kyle thinks. I got all the seasonings. Okay. I got slow cook it, whatever you need. I'll make it happen. I got
the Kingsfords.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah. But, you do need the quality meats.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
Hey, and sometimes that white and black Kirkland brand meat just won't do it.
Maybe not. You know,
Hey,
for some occasions, sure.
Hey, Kirkland gonna sue us, bro. We keep talking about Kirkland brand.
We're big Kirkland
Supporters.
Yeah, supporters and consumers.
Absolutely.
Hey, you know what though? We keep them in the know.
That's right. Mm-hmm. We've given them a lot of free advertising.
A lot.
Happily. Evan Sittery says this. What do you guys make of this? Evan Sittery says, league executives project the Kings as one of the most likely teams to blow it up. A roster with win-now players, Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk. A slow start could lead them to become a top seller. Sabonis is viewed as having the most trade value, end quote. It's kind of shaky. He says league executives are guessing the Kings, of all the teams that might blow it up, the Kings are one of them. I think we already knew that, didn't we? We know it's possible. We don't know what they're going to do.
I mean, anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But, everything that we've heard from Scott Perry and, his group is that they're trying to make this club a contender. Just saying blowing it up and going in a different direction, I don't think that's been a option for them.
I think maybe it becomes one at some point in the season. Maybe. You're saying. Maybe.
It might become one later on down the line, but I think in order for that to happen, they're going to have a catastrophic start.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they struggle a little bit, I don't see this organization saying, okay, blow it up.
Right.
If they start out struggling, I think it would have to be something just, 0-12 for them to say, okay, you know what, pull the plug.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do think and I know we've talked about this today, they're trying to kind of accomplish two things at once. They're trying to be as competitive as they can be now, and they are trying to develop
look towards the future
younger players.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slippery slope they're on, but that's where they are now. That's kind of the roster that Scott Perry inherited, and that's why I disagree with the people who have said, just blow it up now. Just get rid of everybody and just start fresh. We'd rather see the young guys play. I understand that, and I've thought about it, but I just don't think that's the best way forward given where you are and what you have. First of all, if you did that, you wouldn't get close to value for any of the guys you got rid of.
Right, because
you wouldn't really be accomplishing anything.
Because everybody know you're having a fire sale.
Yeah.
So you're going to get, pennies on the dollar, number one. And then, number two is that, I'm sorry, if you're an organization, you have a team, and you have these players at your disposal right now, you have to give them a shot.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give them a shot and see what's going to happen. You just can't say, okay, we're pulling the plug. No, you have to really be, like I said, things have to go catastrophically wrong for you to say, okay, pull the plug now. Because you might start out and struggle a little bit, and then all of a sudden you catch some momentum. You have to understand, the league is 80-plus games. You got a lot of leeway to try to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I understand if you go 0-25, then around Christmas time, you might want to pull the plug. But
that would not be a good start.
Right. Anything shorter than that, if your team is struggling, and your team might struggle a little bit, but it might be some good things to say, you know what, if we catch on, if we can get one more player, it might catapult us in the right direction.
I appreciate what you said earlier, Henry, and we, again, thank the High Flyer for helping us out last couple of days. You said you got to win at least 42 games. Now, for this to be considered a successful season. I don't know for a fact where you were the last couple of years, but, a couple of years ago, we were sitting here going before the season started, they got to get into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They got to win a series in the first round, which I never said because I thought, baby steps. But I agree with you. 42 would be a good accomplishment. It would constitute a good season, pardon me for stuttering. If you were able to get into the playoffs somehow through the play-in,
that'll be great.
Yes,
a
but
great season.
I've never seen Kings fans in this position where many of them now say, yeah, but if you get in the playoffs, you're not going to go anywhere. That doesn't mean anything. It's just weird because Kings fans never used to feel that way.
In order to get to the dance, you got to be able to get in the limo and take the ride.
Mm-hmm.
All right? You never know what's going to happen once you get there. So, my thing was, and even when we came in third that year, I was like, okay, the team's playing very, very well, good basketball. That next year, I came on record and said, if we just make the playoffs, it's a positive year.
Mm-hmm.
Because I honestly thought that year that the Kings took third, a lot of things fell their way. Number one, we stayed healthy. We didn't have no big-time injuries. Number two, every other team that was in the West had big-time injuries. The Kings were able to play good basketball and catch these teams undermanned. They came in third. Good. And the next year I was like, if they just make the playoffs, stay out of the play-in, go to the playoffs, it's a success. Everybody, no, we got to be in third. We got to be in fourth. I'm like, it's not going to go down that way.
Right. It doesn't always work in that linear fashion like that.
We're going to be number two. It don't work that way. Just getting there once again is where you need to be. I thought the team played extremely well. They took Golden State to 7. I was never more impressed with my team than when they took Golden State to 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought they had them. They had them.
I think they did too. I think Mike was really, really disappointed.
And if you would have had maybe one more veteran on that team, when they went to Golden State and had Golden State down, they would have came back 3-1. It should have been over right then.
Mm-hmm.
But they struggled in Golden State and lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
But they had them.
Yeah. Here's the trick, and this is why I understand why some fans are frustrated. You don't want to be stuck in the middle. And at some point, the Kings need to get better players. If you're just kind of spinning your wheels in the NBA, it's a bad place to be where you're staying moderately competitive without playing poorly enough to get the draft picks that make you better, and you're kind of stuck.
Right.
And so I understand why fans say, don't want to be stuck. You get in the play-in, maybe the playoffs. If you're still just right in that, 38 to 44 range every year, that doesn't really do it. So I understand that fear, but I think Scott Perry recognizes that. It's tricky, again, trying to do two things at once, but I think the Kings, I don't think their plan is to just be stuck and going for the play-in spot every year.
No, but, we talk about it all the time. It's not as easy as just saying, Vivek needs to open up his wallet and go spend some money and go buy some players. It's not that easy.
No, it's not, especially now.
No, it's not that easy. We are a small market team.
You got to develop your guys.
Right. You have to. That's
OKC did.
That's number one. People are like, well, Kevin Durant's ready to leave. Kevin Durant is going everywhere besides Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Because pretty much everybody in the league still wants him. And if it comes down between Sacramento and Miami, where do you think he's going? Going to Miami.
Yeah. I think last year's finals were great for Sacramento, great for any small market NBA city, because you had two small market teams in the finals.
Yes.
It's great. It can be done. But you have to have the discipline and the smarts to follow that blueprint. It's not easy, but yes, it can be done.
And then, you have to understand this. OKC had a plethora of picks.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
And in order for them to get those picks, they had to be on the bottom for a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they had some good players. Think about this.
Well, some people want the Kings to do that.
Some great players came through OKC.
Yeah, Paul George, Russell Westbrook.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
All right, James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Serge Ibaka.
Mm-hmm.
Domantas Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they had some very good players come through there. That's why they were able to move off of those guys.
And they also got great value for just about every one of those guys.
Of course.
Yeah.
Move off of those guys and get all of these picks to where they was like, we got 10 draft picks. I'm not saying exactly, but, we got 10 draft picks we can pick from. And if you can pluck 3 out of there, you're doing good.
You might be right. It might be more than that. I mean, they have a massive – they acquired a massive –
They had a collection.
Yeah, yeah.
To where, and they understood they had to do it that way. And let's put this out there too, Whitey. I mean, no one knew Shea was going to be Shea. He was good in L.A. Good player. Didn't know he was going to be the MVP of the league. The dude just turned out, had a chance to play, show what he can do, got comfortable in a system that was pretty much tailor-made for him, and he was able to show up and show out.
Mm-hmm. So understand the frustration, but we'll see. This team is better than they were Tuesday night. Hopefully we see some of that tonight. We're back to get you ready for the Kings' second preseason game. It's the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings are geared up for the new season. Training camp competition is fierce.
He's got the two-pointer.
Download the Sactown Sports app to keep you informed everywhere you go.
One place, all your Sacramento Kings news. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they are upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. And you've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement. But now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Sactown Sports has your ticket to the biggest live events going on in our region. First up, get in the game Halloween weekend at the Sinners and Saints Halloween Party and Costume Contest at the venue at Thunder Valley, October 25th. Then, country fans, the spotlight's on the brand new Channel 24 venue in Sacramento as Cameron Marlowe takes the stage October 28th. Comedy lovers, don't miss the one and only Trevor Noah, November 9th at the venue at Thunder Valley. The action keeps rolling with Jesse McCartney at Channel 24 Sacramento on November 14th. The same night, legends, the Isley Brothers bring the soul to Hard Rock Live. Rock icons Heart storm Hard Rock Live on November 21st, followed by the Stray Cats November 23rd. Laugh it up with Mike Epps on December 5th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Sactown Sports is your home court for live events. Head to SactownSports.com. That's SactownSports.com for more info.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
You get up and clean that room.
Clean the house.
Get to that bathroom.
Yes, sir.
You had some duties, right?
Yes.
And Mom's had in the living room, she had that stereo system that set up about yay high to your chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had the 2 speakers on the outside. One was close, one was on the other side of the living room. And, it had that glass window you press in and go,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
with the records under it, but it had the tape player and everything. So I grew up listening to Tina Marie.
Man.
Tina Marie was one of my mom's favorite artists.
Hey, I got Tina Marie on the playlist, bro. I am first team all Tina Marie. That chick could sing. Not sing, sing.
Do either of you listen to vinyl anymore? Because, it went away and then came back with a vengeance.
I used to be a big DJ guy. And I gave a lot of my vinyl away to my cousin because he was doing DJ and stuff. But, man, I had Technique 1200s. I had Newmark Mixer. I had the drum machines. I had all of that in my room. And then, had the old school Run DMCs and Peter Piper and all that old school vinyls.
You listen to vinyl, any Jay?
Yeah. Guess what? We just celebrated 3rd year anniversary last month. Me and the wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my wife is like, I'm going to get you something different this year. She bought me a record player. Kid you not. Literally.
Hey, I tell you what.
Because you would appreciate it.
I would.
You know what?
I do.
Music has come along so much.
Oh, man.
But I'll tell you what. When like I said, when you're old farts like ourselves, and when you put that needle down, you hear that. Oh, man, that sets the tone right there. That sets the tone right there. You're like, oh, yeah. That's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Sound nice and grainy.
Yeah. But it does have a different tone, too, which is why a lot of younger people coming back around to it. CDs, especially when they first came out, they're so convenient and everything, but they didn't sound very good.
But you know what, Whitey? As much as we love vinyl, my uncle had me hooked on reel-to-reel.
Ooh.
Reel-to-reel was the real sound. You could definitely hear everything on a reel-to-reel.
Oh, okay.
Sounded better than vinyl.
I bet.
Man.
Yeah.
I never had one, but he used to have me. I remember being a little boy. He used to rewind it and wind it up and put that music on, and Al Green go, man, you knew the party had started.
I know about 25 years ago when everybody had their iPods. I think that's the.
Nah, that was before then. I mean, that was after then.
It was after that?
Yeah, I'm
15
40.
years ago? Whatever it was. But
yeah, about 2010. Yeah, that's probably right.
So a lot of the pop or more popular stuff, they'd mix it so that people could hear it, especially young people on their iPods, and everything was just so trebly and just like right out in front. And it just, there was just no nuance to it.
And, and once again, we old dinosaurs and we lived that. It killed the pure sound of music when you had to transfer it from vinyl to MP3.
Sure. Yeah.
Over that, it just killed it.
All right. So thank you, Jay, for all the songs that you've been playing today. There's nothing like Flashback Fridays with Jay.
Kansas City. Kansas City.
Vinyl was a little bit before my time, but I definitely came in on like the super tail end of it, like you said, HT, where guys were still scratching. Early 90s, cats were still moving. Kid Capri, like when I came up, that was kind of, one of the guys, right? And so I remember on Def Comedy Jam and stuff like that, at night he would scratch, and I'm like, man, that's pretty cool, and then, like you said, then it switched over to electric tables and things like that.
Yeah, everything's digital.
Digital, right, there you go. That's the word I was looking for, digital.
I call it cheating the DJ booth.
Yes, it is. Serato.
Yeah,
which is what everybody plays
cheating the DJ
now.
booth.
But I remember tapes were kind of like, oh man, tapes, that was kind of around where I was at.
Okay.
But really, when I came around music, it was CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Like CDs for me was, oh man, you got to go up here to Virgin or Tower every Tuesday, get your brand new, that type of movement. But I remember the first album or anything that I remember ever asking for, which is crazy. I don't know why my mom let me buy it, but was Don't Play With My Yo-Yo from Yo-Yo, which was 1993 or 4, one of the two. And I got it on tape. That was the single. Remember they sold singles? I was like, man, I got a tape. That's pretty cool. But now to see like a tape is terrible right now. Would you agree? Who the hell wants to play on a tape? Like, tape was terrible quality.
You know what? I still got a dual cassette tape.
You got the boom box still, baby?
No. I got a dual cassette tape in the garage, and I'm not going to let it go.
How big is the system? Like, is it?
What
the dual cassette, is it?
No, it goes to a huge system.
Okay, like a receiver type. Okay,
yeah, it goes to a huge system, but I still got the dual cassette tape. What was the first vinyl you went out and bought?
It was probably something like Brandy. Brandy, you're a fine girl. You know that by Looking Glass? You ever heard like the single? Something like that.
Something like that?
Yeah. Do you know that song?
No.
Okay.
I remember
You'll find it.
My first song the first record I ever bought, I remember it was 79, 80. And that was the first time I heard a hip, a hop, a hippie to the hip, hip, hopper, you don't stop. The Sugar Hill Gang. I heard that on the bus coming home from school, and I lost my mind. I ran to my mother. I said, Mama, you got to take me to the record store. She said, okay. She said, what record you want to buy, son? I said, I don't know the name of it, but I know it go a hip, a hop. The Sugar Hill Gang. Rapper's Delight.
1979.
I think it was 79 or 80, one of the two. When I first heard it.
79, yeah. 78, 79?
Yeah, right around there. I remember I was in the 8th grade going to the
78.
9th. I was in the 8th grade going to the 9th grade when I heard it. And I was like, these dudes are rapping. Well, what is this?
Mm-hmm. And this is Looking Glass, Brandy. Yeah.
Oh, you heard this song.
On a western bay, and it's
okay.
100 ships
like this. Yeah, that would have been the first thing. Yeah. I
Hey,
think I got started earlier than you because you said 8. I think like 4th or 5th grade, I was like
that was
trying to buy some stuff.
That was the first one I got. When you said Brandy, my first thought went straight to the OJs. I really miss you, Brandy. A little different song right there.
Jay, we got baseball tonight. Game 5. The Tigers and the Mariners. What do you think? Any thoughts?
Give me the M's.
Tied 2-2.
Give me the M's.
Yeah?
Back home, Seattle, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the M's at home. Coming back home, a little home cooking, a little clam chowder, Pike's Place.
Mm-hmm. Big Dumper going to take care of business?
Give me a Who Ride. Who Ride going to do his thing.
Oh, all right. That's yeah.
Are either one of you guys kind of broke up that we don't have no New York?
No.
Y'all answered that quick.
You? Sounds like maybe you are?
No. I'm telling you, I'm really not broke up over that.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I kind of like seeing it. That just lets you know that no matter how much money you have and what all you throw out there and you think you can go buy the best players, it doesn't always equate to a championship.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow night, Jay, Game 5, the Cubs and the Brewers. Any thoughts? Even if it's just who you want to see win.
Of course, the Brewers. Keep Chi-Town down. Keep the foot on the boot on their neck.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see. Give me the Brewers and Blue Jays. Something that's completely different.
In
no
the World
one really
Series?
likes the Brewers or the Blue Jays. I take that. Or the Mariners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm kind of leaning Mariners, but my heart's not in it, Hank, because the Padres lost. So I'm still mourning that.
The Padres your squad, huh?
Yeah.
I understand.
But, you get used to that after a while. It's hard to win a World Series. These teams lose like the Yankees, whoever's going to lose between the Cubs and the Brewers. Teams lose and the fans like, oh, what's wrong with them? They're terrible. It's really hard to win the World Series.
It's hard to win a championship, period.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of things have to go right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has to go right, and a little bit of luck on your side also.
Definitely. What needs to go right for the Kings tonight? What do we need to see from the Kings tonight? Who do we need to see it from?
Everybody. We need to see a smooth offense. Would like that. We need to see cohesiveness through the 5 players out there. We need to see some sense of a little pressure on the defensive side. We need to see 5 guys working together as a unit. Everybody on a string.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see Dennis Schroeder play with more of a sense of command of the offense.
You know what? Get a kid a pass.
I will.
He just got here.
Yeah.
He just got here. Just got here. You know, for him to have some miscues and some mistakes and stuff like that, I'll give him that. He just got here. A new team. Everybody you playing with, you might have played with them before, but this is a new squad for you. You got to learn them.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a pass and say, okay, you know, we'll wait for you to come around, but sooner than later.
Yes. I'll give him a pass, too. It's just like, I hope we start to see it. I hope we see things.
Sooner than later, bro.
Yeah, at the defensive end. And I know Doug has said, don't pay any attention to my rotations.
No.
But it is interesting to see how he handles things, and I wonder if it's going to change at all. I wonder if any of the younger guys are going to get into the game sooner tonight.
Maybe.
Because
you know what? That first night, I was shocked because pretty much everybody got a chance to play.
Yeah.
I was like, some of these guys, we might not see them until the fourth game. Well, everybody got a chance to get in and, you know, get some playing time. So they might not see the floor for a little while these next couple of games.
Mm-hmm. This is a conference game, but it's interesting. Portland, I think they don't know how good they are, and people aren't expecting much from them. But last year, they did kind of at one point, and I think you addressed this yesterday, they were kind of knocking on that play-in door, and then they faded. The schedule got tough, but they got a lot of talent on that team.
Hey, Chauncey Billups finally got those guys to play the way that he wanted them to play. And, you know, they had such a bad start that, you know, they had dug themselves a huge hole. But like you said, at the end of the season, Portland was starting to put together some wins and some impressive wins. So I think they got something to work on and something to work with. You know, understanding Dame probably won't be back this year, but, you know, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a big pickup for them when he does come back. And that gives Chauncey another year to deal with these young guys. And once again, we talk about it all the time. Portland's another team that's going to have to cultivate talent because getting free agents and big-time players is going to be tough for them.
So based on your experience, tonight is another night for a guy like Zach where it's like, come in, make a few shots, make my impact, and then rest. I'm out done for the rest of the night.
If I'm on Doug, if I'm Doug Christie, I'm in the locker room and I'm telling my starting five, if you want to go with the same ones, just say he roll out the same starting five. I'm letting them know, 10 minutes, bro, you better give it to me. I don't care what you do, bite, steal, grab, whatever. You better give it to me those 10 minutes. After that, you can go sit down and somebody else will play. But I need to see you five giving me what I need offensively and defensively. After that, 10-on-1, you can shut it down.
Now, I know it's just a second preseason game, but Doug did say after the first game, look, we lost the game, we lost the fight. That's unacceptable. I told him that's the last time it's going to happen. So there is a little bit of that vibe already, right? I know it's just a second preseason game, but the coach has kind of laid down the law for him as far as the standards.
And Whitey, that's why I'm saying, 10 minutes, bro. I'm just asking you for 10 minutes. 10-on-1, you can cut the tape off and go get some ice. But just give me this 10 minutes, and then I'm going to deal with some of these other guys that I'm checking in the rotations and things like that. But I need you guys to show up tonight.
Mm-hmm. And you liked Nick Clifford's debut, didn't you?
Oh, loved it. Loved it. You know what? And I loved him in Vegas. Kyle and I did a couple of shows in Vegas, and I was saying, I'm like, this dude is something extra. He is something extra. I'm not saying he's a star, but he's got something extra out there. He understands the game. He looks like he belongs. He don't have the deer in the headlight look, and he's out there making right plays. It's easy to come down and just take a ball and just jack it up from three. Any player can do that, but he sees the game. Like I said, Tyreek Halliburton-ish. He looks and sees the game and pick and chooses and makes the right decisions.
I think you made a really interesting point there. I know somebody today, maybe it was Allen, was saying he was reading the comments from some critic, pundit, expert who was saying, "Yeah, the Kings have good players, but they don't have that young player you can build around." In fact, it was on the podcast. Somebody mentioned it on a podcast, and then somebody mentioned to Allen in the YouTube chat that, "Hey, what about Nick Clifford?" And you just mentioned it, nothing against Nick Clifford, but he's really not that guy, right? He's not like a lottery pick that you build your whole team around going forward. He's a really important piece, and he kind of sets your franchise, hopefully, on the right path here. But he's not like, this is going to be the face of the franchise for years to come.
No. And, and for Nick Clifford, it might be a good thing because it gives you time to learn. Because I tell you what, everybody, and you and I, we talked about this. I said, if you redo the draft for the last 15 years, would the number one consensus player still be that number one consensus player? I seriously doubt it. Because a lot of players, they come out and they say, you got to give me everything. If you don't come in and be LeBron James, this organization is not going to make it. Some players can make that jump. The good ones and the superstars do, but it's a lot of them that don't. So for him not to have that all the way on him, kind of like Keegan Murray, just to come in and be a piece of the puzzle and learn, and the overall scheme of things, it might make you a better player.
And definitely would help the team and get them on that path where they get younger. They do have to get younger. They can't get younger right now. I'm not saying get rid of all the veterans, but clearly they have to be trending that way when it comes to acquiring new players. Which, again, speaking of acquiring new players, it was reported today by Shams, as you may have heard, the Kings apparently still have a lot of interest in Russell Westbrook. So we'll see where that goes, if it goes anywhere. May go to China for him.
Yeah, let's put this out there. First ballot Hall of Fame, straight for Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
First ballot. Changed the game of the NBA.
Plays as hard as anyone I've ever seen.
Motors through the roof. You don't have to question, is he going to come out and give you energy and effort? The dude is that. Is he the Russell Westbrook of OKC? No. He's not that guy, but is he going to still come in and give you 150%? I've never seen Russell Westbrook in a game to where you say, man, you know what? He just laid down like an old dog. Never that.
Nope.
He might make some mistakes.
Yeah.
But he's not going to lay down.
Right. He's stubborn sometimes where he'll take shots that maybe he shouldn't take.
Yep.
But he'll give you everything.
Everything he has.
And maybe that's when the Kings look at him, bringing him in, maybe that's what they like most of all. When you talk about we've got some younger players, somebody needs to set an example, he'll definitely do that.
And you know what, Whitey? Here's a good thing about that. If you bring in a Russell Westbrook, okay, you got some young players that you're trying to cultivate, right? You bring in a Russell Westbrook, and this dude, because they know who Russell is. The younger guys know. They know Russ. And they see Russell comes in and gives it 150 every night. That sends a signal to you. If Russell does that, I better jump right in line. There's no other way for me. I have to do it because he's still doing it. A dude that's one step from the Hall of Fame, doing everything that needs to be done on the defensive end as far as energy and effort, I better bring the heat.
Does that also apply to some of the veterans on the team? Does it raise a level for them too? I don't know, because some veterans is like...
Depend upon the veterans you have, because some veterans are like, hey, I'm me.
Yeah.
And I've been in this league for 12, 13
I'm
years.
Tenured. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to keep doing exactly what kept me here. I'm playing my way. And, and you have that. You have some veterans that, they're not going to concede. They're going to do what they do. And that's why you move players and get rid of players. But when you bring a veteran in like a Russell that does those things, it really sets the tone for your younger players.
The one thing I think the Kings have going for them is it's pretty clear. This should be the case with all players. But as you know, Henry, it's not. Everybody on this team, they do want to win.
No doubt. I've never seen a guy put on a uniform and say it's okay to lose. It's not in our DNA. When some people are like, he's out there, he's trying to lose. No, he's not. He's not playing up to par, but I don't think he's out there trying to lose. That's not how we're built. Everything in your DNA is when you step out on that floor, we're here to compete. You here to win. Like I said, you might not always win and you might not always do the right thing. It's going to be some ups, it's going to be some downs. But I've never met a guy that put on a uniform and say, all right, man, I don't care if we win or lose. I've never seen that.
Do you think that DeMar and Zach LaVine have something to prove in terms of what they can accomplish together? And before you answer, I will tell you, I asked them both that last year after one game. They were both up on the podium. Zach just didn't want to address it at all, or he didn't. But DeMar said, oh, yeah, absolutely. And he went back again and said, when we were in Chicago, we had a point guard, and when we first started together, we were very effective together. But then, Lonzo got hurt and so on, which speaks to how they're really relying on Dennis Schroeder this year. But do you think the two of them as a combo have something to prove?
I don't know. I don't know because, they spent time in Chicago together. And, some say it was okay. Some say it didn't work. Because at that particular point, everyone's looking at them saying Chicago had a shot to come out of the East.
Mm-hmm.
They had a very nice roster. It was them two and Vukovic and, Kobe White was there. Lonzo Ball was there. They had a pretty good roster.
Caruso was there too, wasn't he, for a while?
Caruso was there. It just didn't work out. Now, it depends upon where you are in your life of basketball.
Like your career arc.
Yes.
As a player.
I think DeMar DeRozan is in a situation now to where he's like, I'm trying to do any and everything I can to push a team and make a team better. If it's one of those things to where, me and Zach, we got to work this thing out and try to prove that, yes, we can make it work. Because when you get older in your career, you start thinking about how can I fix certain things. DeMar knows where he's at in scoring. He knows he's going to the Hall of Fame. He knows that, as far as the points and everything else, where he is. You start looking back and saying, okay, what else? What else can I do out here to show? You know what? Can we really show these guys that, the Zach and DeMar thing could work? I think that's where his mind is at. Now, Zach might be on something totally different. He's a younger guy. He might be on whatever it takes to make this team win. Whether me and DeMar get it done together, whether we don't, I'm going to go out there and play my best.
To me, if this team is going to be at its best, Zach LaVine's guy averaging at least 25, 26, 27 a game. To me, he's got to be the point of the spear offensively. He said last year, I went in there, I tried to fit in, I shouldn't have done that. He doesn't have to worry about fitting in. To me, he is the main weapon offensively for this team.
He's the head of the snake.
Yeah, and I think he can have very high average this year.
Even with Sabonis, Zach is the head of the snake. When De'Aaron left, Zach came in, and he did. He tried to fit in. And you have to give Sabonis that respect. Sabonis is an all-star too. You really can't come in and say, you know what, Sabonis, never mind what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm Zach. I'm here. I'm taking over. Zach ain't that type of player. Maybe Russell is, but Zach ain't. Russ totally different. Russ will come in like, look, I'm Russell. This is what's going to happen. But Zach's not that guy. But I do think that he understands that in order for this team to be successful, he's going to have to be the Chicago Bulls Zach LaVine.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to be the alpha. You're going to have to be the omega. You're going to have to be the guy that starts it.
Yeah. We saw it when he was on the Bulls. Even when the Kings were there last year, where he would just go through stretches, he would just take over the game.
Right. And he has the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And he has the ability to do it from the three-point line, and he can get downhill and get it done among the trees. Come on, Al. Come on, Al. Do it. Here it comes. The party is now started, ladies and gentlemen.
Jay, you got any weekend plans you can share with us?
Man, I'm power packed tonight. My daughter's got homecoming. She's got homecoming dance tomorrow. I'm going out to the concert, Thunder Valley. Shouts out to my family, Yuckmouth for the Loonies, E40 Too Short.
You can hook your boy up.
Anytime, let me know.
All right.
And then I'm also rocking and rolling one of the games this week. So we moving and grooving.
All right. Thank you, Henry, for joining us last couple of days. We really appreciate it.
Let me tell you, man, it's been a pleasure. It's definitely been a pleasure. I have fun every time I come in here. I always said that the drive guys don't have a two-seater. I'm that third one in the back seat. I always feel like a drive guy.
And Henry's just getting warmed up. He and Scott Marsh bring you Game Night next on Sactown Sports. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being with us.
It's the energy all around you. The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio